Hello, 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 hello. Hey Donovan, how's it going? Run on zero sleep? Feel that, dude. Go grab that G Fuel, my man. Hello to everyone that's in here. Hi Finn, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you in here. Speaking of Finn, actually, before I do anything, I need to open up the chat queue. You guys can join the chat if you'd like. Hi though. Welcome to the stream. Speaking of Finn, um, Finn has been one of the people that has been in our Minecraft server that we started just under a week ago. So if you guys are interested, if you hit exclamation mark Discord, you guys can get in the Discord and join our Minecraft server, or realm, I guess it would be called, better yet. We got a lot of big things going on there. As far as our Minecraft server, it's been a lot of fun, a lot of hard working people, putting in some good work onto that uh, server there. I would go and check it out. It's been a lot of fun. You back when you missed, you just missed the hello. I said hi to you. What's up? Welcome, and I'm glad you got your G Fuel. Got to keep you up and energized for this whole thing. Keep you excited for this. Meta, what's up, dude? How's it going? Look, while I get ready to do my thing soon. Love y'all for sure. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm really excited, Meta, for our interview on the 11th, I believe it is, next week. But yeah, if you guys haven't already seen the Minecraft server, I highly suggest it. It's been a lot of fun. We've been able to keep it going online for about 12. We had well, so now we've hit over 24. We're getting closing into 48 hours soon, of it being live on and fully on. We've came on a we came up to with an idea of how to keep it on all time. It is currently closed, so that it isn't just being used, and the moderators don't have to worry about it during this time of the day. So just keep that in mind, as if you guys are going to go look at it now, that will not be online right now. Thank you, Donovan. I appreciate it. The hat's clean, isn't it? It's really nice. So if you hit exclamation mark merch, you can find that hat. But thank you, Donovan. I appreciate it. It's definitely been it was a long wait for definitely a hat that's worth it though. So I'm really excited for that. Um, and Finn says it's insane and a lot of fun. It is insane. It has been a lot of fun. It's too clean. Thanks. Sheesh. Yeah, so the Minecraft server, if you guys haven't joined, exclamation mark Discord will get you into the Discord. You can kind of see the server through there. If you guys also, if not Minecraft's not your thing, maybe it's not, that's okay. We have tomorrow, May 5th, game night, Among Us, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Highly requested. So if you guys are interested, join that Discord and get in there. If you are already in there, great. Well, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a good one. We're gonna have a lot of people coming in. We have, from what I heard, obviously things can always fall through because people have lived busy lives. But I've heard that our previous house guest, Just Dre, will be there, which is really exciting. So he's gonna tune in. He's gonna come play and hang out for a bit in the Among Us game night, which is. Oh wait, I forgot. May the 4th be with you all. Yes, Finn. May the 4th be with everyone today. Um, it is Star Wars Day. Is that what it is? I guess, or May the 4th. I think it's Star Wars Day, right? Um, yeah, and then as Donovan helped me segue into is the hat, the new merch. The fresh merch is here for those who haven't seen it. Looking clean. I've actually got two hats. I'm very lucky. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do with one of them. I might have to give one of them away. This one that I'm holding in my hand is actually there's nothing else like it in right now printed. It has a glow in the dark on it. So what's it called? It will glow in the dark in after it has been under a light for a certain amount of time. So send one to you. I mean, maybe. We'll see. Maybe we'll have to see how this giveaway goes about, and we have to send it to you. Not actually though. My head is too big for regular size hats. See, this one is a small medium for this hat. There is actually a large, extra large one. So maybe we can get you one. We can hook you up. However, you won't be able to get the one with the night thing on it though. So, but we'll see. Um, yeah. Hi Sarah, welcome. We're just gonna go into the intro here too. as far as that, yeah, what's go? What you just missed there was just we were talking about the Minecraft server. If you haven't already joined, I know you've probably heard about it. Among Us night tomorrow, and about the hat. But we're gonna go in the intro here. Today's guest is a mother of two, a twin that also has a younger set of twin brothers, and is also a teacher. Today we hope to get to know our guest and how she sees life through deep questions. Please welcome the mom, the myth, the legend, Mama Lisa, to the conversation. Hello. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Great.
Good. Mama
Hi,
Lisa.
everybody.
Hi. So as this has been very, very highly requested by many. Sorry?
Oh. Are you muting me already?
No, what's called? You're still on there. You should be able to be here now. Everyone should be able to hear you now as well.
You'll have to read to tell me what I'm missing in the chat because I can't see it. So I did write down that Donovan's here. So
Yeah.
hi, Donovan, and Finn. Hey, Finn, and Meta. I will definitely tune in on the 11th because I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be great. So yeah, Brendan, tell me who else is in the chat so I
Sounds
can
good.
welcome them.
Everyone's freak.
Welcome them to your house.
Sounds good. Everyone's freaking out about the shoutouts here. We got Sarah in here as well, and we've also got Bradley in here as well, or Bardley, as we like to call him
Oh,
sometimes.
Bradley! Bradley's representing from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
And you can see there's one of my kitty cats that has to join in, because I'm actually speaking. So they're like, "What?"
You are getting a little bit glitchy, just so you
Continue.
know, from the spot you're in. You're hitting a bit of a leg spike there,
Yes.
fortunately. But that's it.
Unfortunately, right behind me here is a mechanical room for my entire building,
Yeah.
so I do glitch out of my Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll try and keep that to a minimal. As you guys know, and actually before that, I want to remind you, as you've seen a lot of the episodes, I'm sure you've heard this spiel before, but I'm still going to give it to you as you are now in the hot seat today rather than in the audience. I want to remind you that all these questions are up to your comfort to answer. Excuse me. If you prefer not to answer a question, please feel free to let me know and I will stop asking. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable during any part of this. In addition to this, if you have any questions for me, and feel free to ask them at any point. Obviously based off stream. Anything, I mean, too much about like kind of personal life. Obviously, like, we'll talk about it after stream. But as far as things here, that's no problem with any questions. I don't think you know what I asked of you, so I'm not too worried with that. Sarah, have a good bite to eat. We'll hope to see you back here in a bit.
Enjoy your food.
Right? You completely cut out there.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's go.
rats.
Do you
I
want?
said, enjoy your food, Sarah.
Let's go. Do you want to try and see if maybe moving to the other room? Do you want to try and do that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go now.
That's it. We're gonna cut to the main screen
Okay.
here for a second here, just while we figure out the technical difficulties that we've been having a little bit this morning. Unfortunately, we will get it there. I'm not too worried. We'll get this going here. But yeah, as
We're gonna tour my humble abode.
yeah,
Here
what's
we
it?
go. We're touring we're going to the living room, everybody. Field trip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're really covering your own ass here. Yeah, right, Donovan? Exactly. Let's see here. You guys got this. See, I know, Bradley. It's been a work in progress, but it's going to be a good payoff for the end of this episode. I'm definitely excited for what this will look like in the end here, in that kind of sense as well. Yeah, Bradley. We were just talking about it before you got in here too. Is the how the Minecraft server's been going and how crazy it's been, and how much time and effort you and the rest of the kids have been putting into making sure that this gets all kind of put together and is able to stay online as long as we can. So yeah, we're appreciating that. You guys saw that message in the Discord the other day too, for how much I appreciate you guys putting in the time and support for that server and keeping that live as long as possible. And also about tomorrow. Hopefully you're able to come to that, Bradley, for the Among Us night at 5 p.m. there. You were there? You was. Right, we almost got this. Huh?
Isn't it Wednesday night, Brendan, the games night?
Wednesday night tomorrow, yes, correct. Wednesday night tomorrow. I'm just really tired. Bradley, I hear you on that. I'm very, very tired as well, especially after our long nights of Minecraft recently. But
Oh,
both
Brandon.
here.
Just. Now, is there enough light?
Yeah, it looks okay from what I'm seeing here.
I'm just
I just need
going
to see you in
to.
frame, and then I can kind of give you a better idea of
Okay.
what's happening there.
Just wanted to let the kitty cats outside. I'll show you Miko, who's sitting down here.
Uh,
If you can see him.
oh yeah, yeah, we can see him.
So yeah, here we go.
Finn says, wait, 5 p.m. PST or EST? It's 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST, just for the games night tomorrow. Yeah, so that'll give you the kind of. All right, so we kind of got a bit of a better spot here. I'm hoping that we won't get any leg spikes here. If we do, our apologies. We're trying to work on it as best as possible, and we're trying to get that going. But we'll try our best here to keep it as smooth as possible for that. Unfortunately, Mama Lisa is not actually a streamer. She's just coming on to come hang out with us and answer the questions. But that'll be okay. We'll work with what we have. So
Maybe I could be a streamer.
I mean, maybe. Got to get a better computer though, and a solid connection though. Get to.
I do want a better computer. Remember, I asked that to Toby XO the other day. Yeah, I definitely do need a new computer. This one is 11 years.
11 years old. Yeah, that's what it's called. Donovan says she's not a streamer. Then who did I send this tier 3 sub to? Yeah, I don't know. I want to go check on that credit card statement there, Donovan. Well, actually, which is a good kind of segue. Today is the affiliate stream. After today, I will have all the required things to become an affiliate for Twitch, which will unlock the sub thing. And I've heard there's a lot of people pushing for that founder badge. So, I mean, paying attention to that Discord, there might be a founder badge to be given out here soon. And Bradley and I were talking a couple days about who might deserve it or who's going to get it first. And so, I don't know. He said maybe you should. Yeah, see, everyone wants it. Oh, I'll be getting that. Donovan says. And what's called, and Bradley said if it's not me, he hopes it was you that got it, Mom. So what's called, maybe it will be you if I'm.
Maybe it will be me.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have so as far as that, we're gonna go into 2 truths, 1 lie. Do you have your 2 truths and 1 lie set up?
I actually did, and then you said 2 of the things in the intro. So now I'm gonna have to sort of think at the top of my head.
Okay.
I actually
you gotta think of something. You gotta have something that I don't know either.
Oh, really?
Because I'm gonna guess this too. And also, we actually have why I was up so late last night is we actually have a animation which happens if I do actually get the thing right. Oh, we losing the computer?
No, I tipped it a little sideways because I got excited there. Okay, so I think I could probably.
And we have the founders bet for CJ stream. Ooh, that's like gold there.
Okay, so here is here's what I will say. Okay. Are you ready for my 2 truths and a lie?
Yes. Hopefully not in that order. You gotta make it hard for me.
Brendan. Okay. I love to go to bed early and wake up early in the morning.
Okay.
Because I love to see the sunrise and those little birdies chirping in the spring.
Okay.
Another one is that I love to cook, but I rarely do it.
Okay.
And to bake.
Okay.
And I'm a teacher for nearly 30 years, but I'm currently not teaching due to illness. So there you go.
Okay, so that's the 3. So the first one was that you like to go to sleep early to wake up early and see the sunrise. The second one was that you like to cook, but you don't do it too often. And bake, you said as well. And then the third one is that you are a teacher for 30 years, but you're currently on leave due to illness. So I know, obviously, I know these you better than most of the guests and stuff like that in that sense. But however, those three all feel like they could be true. So that's gonna be hard for me. Also, too, is I don't know if see, this is where I'm gonna piece. I'm gonna go piece by piece. By the way, hi, Breadcrumbs. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Glad you could catch this
Oh,
one.
yay, I love that name. Hey, breadcrumbs. That's so
Exactly.
cool.
Right. Um.
All the breadcrumbs all the way to Candy Mountain.
um, Bradley says number two is the lie, which is the cooking and baking. He says that part of it. So that's the thing is, I know you really liked the in the past the people who have the questions that are have a bit of truth, but have switched it a little bit. So I think it might be one of the I'm sure it's got to be one of those. I just don't know which one it's in. I'm gonna. Donovan says I'm gonna go with the cooking one as a lie. The other two were so specific. Okay. Breadcrumb says number one is a lie. The things I'm struggling here because your sleep schedule is all over the place. I mean, it could be one where you go to bed early because I just don't notice because I'm always just so up so late. And I mean, our verification.
And we don't live together
That's
anymore,
true.
right?
So
We're
that's it.
for 2 years.
Exactly. So I don't know exactly when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up. Obviously, like I've seen when you answer, but I think even if you were asleep, you'd wake up and answer text or phone call from me. So that's why I'm thrown off a little bit by that. And then number two, you said about the cooking thing, and thing is, I don't know if you'd like doing it. I know you would do it if me or Juliana would ever ask you to cook or bake or anything something like that. But I don't know if you'd enjoy it though. And then the third one is you're a teacher. I just don't know if you've been a teacher for 30 years. I know you're pretty close, if not, but you are. But I don't know if it's 30 years. So, um, hmm, okay,
Just to clarify, I said almost
almost 30
30
years.
years.
Okay. So let's go. So that gives me a little bit of leeway then. Okay, as far as that as well. So, I see a lot of people going with number two being the cooking one. I'm kind of stuck between two and one though. I'm kind of like flipping back and forth. Let me get the old noggin here. This is what I'm excited for is two as well. Is once we get to affiliate two, I'm gonna be able to get your guys' help in a poll, and then I can see kind of the answers, and that'll help me kind of justify my
Oh,
decision. But we'll
that's
see.
cool.
Yeah. So let's go. So we'll see. The lie. The lie is going to be hmm. The lie is going to be number two. I'm gonna go with the majority
Sorry.
here and say the number two is a lie. You do not like cooking or baking. However, you would do it if me and Joanna asked. Um, so that is my final answer. Is that you do not like the cooking part of it, but you do it because you love us. Is that the right one, or am I wrong?
Wrong.
No. Dang, you guys will have to wait to see the animation until another episode. Then I guess. All right. What is the lie then?
I do not go to bed early, and I do not get up early unless I have to. It's only if I set an alarm and there's something important. I would sleep past noon and miss like every morning if I could. I do love the little chirping birds and I do love the sunrise, but I do not want to be awake in the morning. It's just, ugh, no, no, no.
See, Bradley, let's go. See that maybe that's why you and Bradley get along. Is Bradley's the same way. Bradley doesn't like waking up early too. Half the time he only wakes up so he can view the stream.
Mm-hmm. And just saying, Brendan, that breadcrumbs got the answer right.
That's right. Breadcrumbs did get it right. That is true. Ooh.
Way to
See,
go, breadcrumbs.
Bradley, can you write that down for me and maybe just send me it back on Discord? Is maybe we need to find something for when the viewers get it right versus when I get it
Yeah.
right, so we can start some sort of tally in that sense. I think that'd be a cool kind of idea because I have it only set up for like when I do it. So I am currently 2-7, I believe, or 2-6, 2-7, I think. Right now for my guesses, I'm not on a hot streak here. I gotta get rolling here and get hopefully string a couple wins together here in the next couple weeks. For guess two choose one lie. So that is two choose one lie. Going into the questions, obviously you do not stream, so I'm obviously not going to ask you about what made you begin streaming. However,
I do have my kitty cat account on Instagram, and I do have a private account on Instagram, and maybe I will become a streamer, and it would be something to do with mom stuff or teaching stuff,
could be
right?
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So obviously, with that in that imagine Bradley says imagine I was about imagine you streaming. I mean that it definitely could happen.
Why not?
Um,
I'd actually really enjoy it.
yeah,
Talking to other moms
yeah,
or
right.
other streamers. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, yeah. So it's definitely something that possibly could happen in the future, Bradley. So keep your eye on it. Maybe watch
Yeah.
the Discord and see what happens, or maybe we'll talk about it here. Learning with me on Melissa on Twitch, that'd be sick. You're onto something, Donovan. You're onto something. Um, as far as that is, this, like I said, I'm not gonna ask you about the streaming things, but and that only is really the first question that I have on here. But I'm gonna switch a little bit. What made you decide that you wanted to be a mother and decided that that was the time when you turned to that point of, okay, I'm gonna have a kid? Was it a planned situation? Because obviously I was your first kid. Was it a planned situation, or was it something that was kind of more of a surprise or a miracle, as I know you will flip the words into?
Okay. So the the long and short of it is that when I married your dad, and of
Mhm,
course divorced for a very very long time now, um, we decided to have children
mhm,
after being married for a couple of years or something. And I found out that I did not ovulate. So, I know that's really super technical for some people.
mhm.
And um, I was told that I would need
Oh, you cut out a little. You're cutting out a bit here.
support, fertility support to actually
We're losing you a little bit here.
with
We're starting to lose
you.
you. We're starting to lose you a little bit here. You're cutting out a little bit now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Your video's still frozen, but we can at least hear you right now.
So annoying. And I see the picture of myself too, and I've got my like hand in the air. I can
Oh,
see
there we
that.
go.
There it is.
There we go.
Yay.
Perfect. There you go. Good.
Okay. Oh, so I'm so sorry. I'm
That's
sure
okay.
it's me. It looks
Technology.
it looks like it might be a little bit frozen again. But okay. So we did plan to have children.
Okay.
I found out that I couldn't have children on my own. And then before we even did anything for fertility support
Mhm.
with the doctor, all of a sudden I found out that I was pregnant with you. So it really was like a really great thing. With your sister, um, we did have to use um, fertility drugs, or I did,
Mhm.
for to be able to conceive her pregnancy. So both of you were definitely planned, but both were a surprise because of the fact that you never know if you can't properly achieve a pregnancy. It's really difficult. The heartbreaking thing is, in the olden days, we didn't talk about pregnancy loss and we didn't talk about miscarriage. And so before you were born, or sorry, before you were conceived, I had already lost a pregnancy um, the summer before. I found out in the spring of 1996 I was pregnant with you, but before that I had um, I had lost a pregnancy. So that's what I was going to say. I would
Mhm.
also have a child that was the same age as your cousin Elena.
Oh,
So it's just really sad for me.
that
So
was summer 1995. You said was when it was
so I'm wrong because Elena was born in
January.
January. So that means in the summer of 1994. Is that
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because then
Whatever.
that
Yeah.
would be that would be right the
Okay.
timeline. Yeah. Yeah.
Summer of 94, I lost a pregnancy. So, that's really sad. And in those days, we didn't talk about it. We didn't share those information.
Mhm.
But I really struggled inside. And just saying the words now actually make me cry. So, yes, if I could have had more children, I would have. But I gave all my time and attention to you and your sister. And I also had to work, right?
Mhm.
So I'm a
Mhm.
teacher. But if I had had more time and more money, I would definitely have more children because I love children. I love you and Juliana so much. And yes, most important thing in the world for me.
Good. Just going back to the chat here before we go on, continue on here. Bradley said if you were to create a Twitch channel, that he actually, he said, now that would actually make me care about school. So, I mean, maybe you're onto something here. Breadcrumbs.
Bradley, what grade are you in now?
I'll let Bradley put that up. I do know, but I'll let Bradley throw that one up just so he can put it all in there. Brett. Oh, jeez. Hi, welcome, Christoph. Thank you for the raid of 10 people. That was really loud in my ear, but I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. How's it
Hi,
going?
everybody! Raid! Whenever I hear we think like panty raid.
No. maybe we don't do that.
But I'll keep my panties on because of your mom.
Yeah, appreciate it. So welcome everyone. What's it called?
My grandma underwear.
Right, what's it called? This is my mom. It's Chris Dub.
Oh,
Chris Dub.
Chris Dub.
What's it called? Yeah.
Hi, Chris Dub.
Hi, so what's it called? So this is my mom, Panty Raid. Lol. Yeah, exactly. I hope you guys had a good stream. What we do over here, if you guys have been a part of this before, I don't know if you guys have, and I mean, welcome if you haven't. We interview people to kind of see what their connection is and how they are for that thing. So this is my mom, my lovely mother. This is our Mother's Day stream because I stream almost every Tuesday. I'm very glad to have you guys here. We actually just started, so you guys came at a perfect time. We just talked about how I was conceived, which might be a little bit too much.
We didn't talk about that.
No, exactly. But welcome everyone. I see the chat's booming here. I'm gonna try and say hi to everyone here. And my mom does not have the chat pulled up on her thing. We're kind of working out the technical difficulties here, so I will say all your names. I'm sure she'll give you all kind of a hi and hello. We were just going through the thing. I'm gonna go back up and go hit the chat up in a second here, just because we got a raid that kind of surprised us here. But thank you. And first off, as I'm going through the chat here, how was your stream, Chris Stubbs? What are you guys up to? Door Time says raid. We have Metafish with a raid as well, which I know Metafish was already hanging out in here. Bradley says yo. Hollow Moons puts it's the Buckify guitar. Looks like a cannabis leaf. Athena Girl putting in the raid commands. Sorry?
I said puff, puff, pass.
Puff, pass, exactly.
It's legal in our country.
It is legal here. And then we got Theta Serpentis. I hope I'm saying that wrong. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. I hope I am.
Hi, everybody.
Also, Chris, thank you for the follow. I don't know if I said that before. Thank you so much. The Panty Raid, Chris says.
You can follow me too.
Yeah, you can follow. Yeah, for Panty Raids, lovely. Appreciate that, Serpentis. I'm glad I said that right. And everyone's saying hi, mom. So what's called? So Serpentis.
Hi, everybody.
Serpentis said hi, mom. Athena Girl said hello, mom.
Hello, Athena Girl.
And Chris says hi as well.
Hi, Chris. If I could read the names, I would say them. But if you give me a follow, then I can, chat with you at other times when I'm on Twitch.
For sure. And mom's also on the Discord too. ! Discord will get you in there. It's the thing. I'm just gonna go up here and read the chat that we were when we were just before you guys hit that raid in there, and welcome, as I said. And let's see here. And then we were at Bradley said about the care. Breadcrumb said I just woke up and I just so I could watch this. Thank you. Appreciate you waking up to just come watch this. Right?
That's so precious.
Right.
I love you. Thank you.
Donovan is agreeing with Bardley about how he would be more interested in school if you were a teacher. And then Donovan also says, "What a miracle child." I mean, sheesh. And Bradley says, "Honestly."
From the moment Brandon was born, there was something about like the look in his eyes with my eyes. Like I have brown eyes, and Brandon was born with blue eyes, and there was almost like we had this. We could talk to each other just by looking at each other's eyes. We've always had like a really great connection. And so thank you, Brendan. I'm so blessed. And he definitely loved his mama when he was a little boy. I know he still does, but he's definitely, on his own, he's a wonderful girlfriend. He's not attached to his mama's hip. He's all grown up now. But he still is like a wonderful son. So thank you, Brendan.
Sure. We got a lot of chat to go through here for a sec here, just so you're aware. Bradley says summer in January. What is that? A Canadian thing? No, let's go. We're talking about how it was conceived, and then it would be something there. Donovan says stop. He's gonna cry, by the way, as well too. Just to your little comment there.
Oh, Bradley, you need to serve drinks to our raiding friends.
True.
So put up the drinks and start serving, please.
True. See,
That's your job.
Bradley, get on it. um, the
Welcome our guests onto Brendan's couch.
Thank you. Okay, so we're exactly the sofa. Yeah, we got a big sofa in the Discord. ! Discord will find you there. We have a Minecraft realm that just opened. It's booming, and I would get in there now because it's we're just starting last week, and it's going to be a lot of fun here. Welcome Raiders to everyone, and then we're just going here. Everyone's saying hi to you, which I already read off to you. Bradley says that he is in the 8th grade, by the way, Mama Lisa.
Oh. That's so awesome.
Yeah, so let's go. And then
high school in September, oh my goodness, or August, whenever it starts.
The whole life coming up here. Hollow Moon says, thought what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, to your panty raid comment.
Howl raid, that's a cool
Howl Moons.
Oh, that's what I meant, Howl Moon, because I'm Brendan will tell you I'm a moon lover. Oh my goodness.
He loves moons for sure.
Yeah.
So Chris is saying that Meta sent him this way. Thank you, Meta, for pushing Chris away. And Chris, welcome. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. I do highly appreciate it. And I see you're playing War of Monsters. I've never played that before. I hope that went well for you, though. I was looking, but I'm also in the raid. Meta says so. Let's go. Okay, you're playing 2 roles today, Meta. I like how you're thinking there. I think we're gonna have a very fun stream on the 11th here, with especially how you're promoting already here.
Mama Lisa will be there.
True. She'll be in the chat. She's always there.
Lurking. Right? Mama's watching. Yeah.
And apparently, Donovan said about the cannabis comment. It is also legal in New York now too. So he said, "Come visit and get lit."
You know what's funny is that I made that comment about puff puff pass, and I have my patio door, which is right behind my computer screen, is open so the cats can go on their catio.
Yeah.
And one of my neighbors is smoking cannabis, and I can actually smell it right now.
It's party time.
Yeah. Woo! They know that Mama Lisa is on Brendan's guest.
Right. And then Breadcrumb said, it's actually funny, Mama Lisa. I have actually met you when I came over one day with Alyssa after we were done working at McDonald's a couple years ago to put his Easter treats away. I didn't even know about that, actually.
Aww.
Yeah,
Breadcrumb. That's so awesome. I totally remember that.
I remember coming home to it, but I didn't know about I didn't know that we had a guest over in the house. Metafish just says, this is so wholesome. I agree, Metafish, isn't it? Hollow Moon says, mothership link initiated. Beep boop. What's it called?
I'm on board.
Right? What's it called? Chris Dub says, this is a great stream. Moms are awesome. I agree. Moms are awesome. Let's go. Go call your mom and say they're awesome, because I'm doing that. Breadcrumbs, Brendan and Alyssa didn't tell you that day. Yeah, see, that was why. Barley says, oh, the drinks. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay, sweetheart. Take your time. So you don't spill those drinks. Yeah, just get them up there.
He got them pretty quick. It was the next comment after Metafish put hee Minecraft. Juliana's in the chat. She says, hey, besties.
Woo! Juliana. I'm using the voice that makes you tell me that I'm extra.
So see, there we go. We got, but just for you, the ones that don't know, Juliana is my sister, as she is Jewel Gra in the chat. So welcome, Juliana. Thanks for coming to the second stream. Look at that, we're on a roll here. You got second stream in the row. We're doing that. Donovan says that better be fruit punch and lemonade, young man, to Bradley. Chris Dub is also a moon lover. And Metafish says, hear that, Moons? Poggers, I get that mama points. You always get those mama points, Moons. You also get those mama points for following there, too. I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
That's right.
Love you, too, Metafish. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Are you leaving, Metafish?
No, it's what's called. I think one of us said love you earlier, too. So I think that was his love you, too, back. Donovan, I don't know it.
Love you, too, Metafish.
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you guys gotta slow down on this chat. I'm trying to catch up here. Jeez. No, I'm kidding. Keep going. It's great. Donovan, I don't know. It tastes funny. Oh, but I watch what's in that punch, Donovan. Yeah, right. Why is it spicy? Meta says, "Yay." Breadcrumb says, "My name is Julia. You probably don't remember me. We talked about my
I did.
parents and their separation
I
and how I'm not even close to my dad, but I live with my mom." Thank you for being so
I
open, Julia.
Yeah, Julia, I do remember when you came over with Alyssa. So come back anytime, except I live in a new place now, across the street from where I lived before.
Hollow Moons goes, New York, as Zaza be going for 60 a G. I don't know what that is, but okay. I'm not well educated, but I'm
60.
a gram, I'm assuming. And I'm sure we're not talking about my last name, so.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about some of the cannabis.
Right. Zuden, welcome by the
Or
way. I see that. I'm slowly getting the chat. I will get to everyone. I have one side here, which I have chat, which I'm seeing the new notifications come up, and you guys are just killing me, which is okay. And then I got this one where I'm slowly going through every comment one by one here. Donovan says, "Oh, he be smoking that loud." That Timbuk strain says Moons. Hi, Angel Mine. Welcome. What's called? Welcome.
hi, mine.
You're what's called? You're from the Ultimate Friend group, aren't you? I recognize your name, and we were talking last night. I saw. Oh, sorry. I saw the chats going off. Sheesh. um, Donovan says, "Fact smoking that with our pet rats." Oh, Donovan loves his rats.
Oh my goodness, rats are so adorable, and because they have big personalities. Yeah.
um, Juliana says, "Laugh my ass off." So, I think to your extra
Okay,
comment.
so first of all, I'm going to be totally extra because Brendan, you probably don't know this because your sister doesn't really like. She's humble, but yesterday she got her final grades from
Mm,
her university for spring. Well, I guess it's called winter session
yep.
that just finished, and she got all A's and even one A plus.
Sheesh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Juliana.
That's right. That's my child.
And she's in a very, very prestigious program too, from what I've heard and heard from that. And I even know is that Moons goes, motherfucking hitting that 4.0 GPA like it's nothing. Sheesh. Exactly, Moons. We got some smarties in our family here. Not me, but the rest of them.
Don't stop, Brendan. Of course you're intelligent.
See a lot of hearts, see a lot of sheesh in the chat. We might have to get a sheesh command. Or Bradley, can you write that down? Juliana says thanks, thanks as fuck. um, and then Donovan says Brennan knows what I mean. Try not to get caught right now. Laugh my ass off. See, the thing with me and my mom probably basically talk about everything. So I mean, if I smoked, I mean, my mom would probably would be totally okay with it.
You might as well just. Well, you actually told me about that one time that you did when you were camping with your
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. What's got
You,
that? Yeah, I
so,
got.
thankfully you would share. Like I'd actually rather know than not know, and it is legal in Canada, and Brendan is of age, so it's not
Yeah.
like I can say don't do it, right? I can just make sure whenever you do something that is a drug or even alcohol that you're consuming safely.
Yeah,
That is my concern.
exactly.
Thank you, Juliana, and to everybody else that Mama Lisa loves on this chat.
What's got, so the excuse me. The yeah, no, Donovan is the thing is I get really like anxious and I get kind of like what is it? I almost have like anxiety attacks when I smoke. So it doesn't really work for me. And I every time I've kind of like had like a bad kind of reaction to getting high. So I'm not really a big fan of it in that sense. And so I think the camping thing was I think the last time I there's never been a time since then.
You know what I think it is, Brendan? I
Hmm,
think it's that also you actually, full disclosure here, I hope you don't mind me outing
okay.
you this, but the fact that you actually do take medication for your ADHD and that would make a difference about how cannabis reacts to your body.
Very possible too, yeah. Metafish says I gotta go do my thing. Have such a great day. Have rest of stream. Happy Mother's Day, Mama. Exactly. Thank you, Meta.
Thank
We'll see you on the
you.
11th for sure, if not before then. But thank you for stopping in and bringing the raid with you.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs, right? Breadcrumbs says, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and no problem." Um, Chris Dubs says, "We started from the top, and now we're here. We starting from the top. We just going higher, baby." Um, Metafish is
That's a
true.
good one.
Um, Yeah, sure. We're doing some big things out here. Congrats. Thank you, Donovan. Um,
Thank you, Donovan.
let's go. And Bradley says congratulations to Juliana about that very good thing that she's doing with her classes and getting all those good grades.
Yes, thank you for acknowledging that.
Right. Hollow Moon says 2.0 GPA life, baby. See what's called Moons.
Hey,
You're
even if
gonna
you're going to school, that's all that counts.
right. You're gonna what's called you're gonna get it exactly. It's just you're pushing putting in the work and it'll come. Don't worry. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Juliana says prestigious is a stretch. I don't know, Juliana. Everyone I've talked to,
Yes,
especially people that what's it called that we have as like kind of mutual people that we know have said that they're very impressed with it too. And I'm not
it
gonna
is impressive.
I'm not gonna throw too many names out there because I don't know if they want to be named. But what's called but there has been a couple of people that have been like, wow, like I can't believe she's doing that program. And she's like, that's pretty impressive. So I mean, I think pat yourself on the back a little bit here. Um,
Yes.
Bradley, if you can send me those notes that you just put in the chat into Discord, just so I don't lose them in the chat here, because I'm going to lose them here. Holloman says, "Do you do recreational crack?" Not quite. um,
I hope not.
and Donovan says, "Nah, that's Oregon." Oh no, what we're getting into here. Um,
Hmm.
and
You
Donovan
might
says,
not get through your questions
"Yeah,
today, Brendan.
right. I know. That's. I mean, that's all right. Let's go. Maybe
Great.
maybe I'll have to come in for another day. That's all we're saying. But I mean, let's go. We're still under an hour, so I mean, we're still doing all right. Um,
And you don't have to ask everything.
I mean, yeah, that's what's good. We do have a couple questions here. We're gonna quickly speed run through these questions here. We have Meta's leaving here, which we already said goodbye to him. Difference. Chris is going to make dinner. Chris, have a great dinner. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. You already
Yeah,
graduated, but I did end up at the end. I did get it up at the end of senior. See, you did it. Look at you, Moons.
good. Yes,
Go.
congratulations.
For the new friends that are in here, thank you for joining. If you haven't already picked up your drinks, go get them. They're up top in the chat there. And if not, what's gonna happen is if you do exclamation mark Discord, that'll link you to our Discord. Bradley will have drinks on the sofa very soon, right, Bradley? And you can go pick up your drinks in the Discord there if you haven't already gotten your drinks. We do have a Discord game nights, which we do bi-weekly or weekly. Right now, the next one that's coming up is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were playing Among Us. It is very, very highly requested. So if you guys are interested in playing some Among Us with me, some friends, some people that have been on this podcast previously, maybe you've met a fish. He's hanging out. Um,
Is it something that I could actually play and do?
I mean, we can definitely try and see if we can set you up tomorrow for sure. We'll talk.
Okay.
And then the two is I don't know, Chris. I don't know if you're in here, but you're more than welcome to join as well. We'd love to have you. We're trying to build a community here, just as I know I'm sure you are as well. And it looks like you have an amazing community. Considering you're rating with 10 people, that's amazing. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you in there as well. Breadcrumbs, you're so excited. I am too. I'm really excited. As well. And Moons, I think you should join. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Even if it's not for Among Us, we also have a Minecraft server. And that would be a lot of a thing. Juliana says Among Us is not that hard, Mom. You could definitely play it. There you go. It's kind of like what's the game? It's kind of like Clue in a sense,
Oh.
but it's kind of more like you actually run around and like physically kill the people and make sure that no one catches you. It's like little like
Sounds great.
so it's like a little cute Martian person. That's why I need to make a promo for that. I still need to make like a little like Brendan Sussy type of thing. Bradley, another thing to write down. Bertram says I am still listening. Going to be listening while making bacon, eggs, and hash browns. Ooh, bring it to the sofa. Give us some too. I'll be still having on listen. Thank you, Moons, for the kiss. What's it called? We don't have that command set up, but we'll definitely have to look into that for as well.
Back to you, Moon.
Exactly. Oh God, I already got addicted to my own server with the buds. I think one more server wouldn't hurt. Appreciate it. Thank you. See Baka. Oh no, Juliana. Juliana, you have to remind me. I will have to send you one of our very close friends of the stream, CJ's take on that one from TikTok, and oh my goodness, it's pretty funny compared to if you know CJ.
Where is CJ today?
CJ today, I'm not sure. He's probably with his family right now, looking at the time, considering I run his time management. He's probably hanging out with the kid, and the Queen Dev, and then
I'm calling him out. Where is he?
Donovan.
How come he's not
Donovan says, "Dead ass. Where is CJ? LOL." I don't know, Donovan. Maybe if you can go hit him up for me, that'd be great. I know he's been spending a lot of family time, which I think is good for him. But it's yeah.
Tell him Mama Lisa has a request that he join in the chat.
I'm about to FaceTime him. Donovan will get him in here. If anyone's gonna get him in here, it's gonna be Donovan. So we'll get him in here.
Thanks, Donovan.
Yeah. So let's go into questions. We've been kind of sidetracked by the raid, and thank you. Welcome, Raiders. Hope you guys enjoy your time here. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in chat, or you can do !mark chat. That will get you into actually asking a question in the Discord. Please keep in mind, if you do ask questions in the Discord, it might take a few minutes to get to it because we have had some technical difficulties today. But you guys' rating has definitely made this stream a lot better, so thank you for that. We appreciate you guys all here. If you were given 3 things, Mom, that were to make you happy, what would these 3 things be? And they must be materialistic.
You mean like extra or things that I already have?
Let's go with, I mean, you can do either. We have in the past had, yes, it's done both. I would say is maybe push it to things that you do currently have. Because we do have questions that are a different relation that have in that kind of sense. So it would be.
Okay, so I would say it has to be my technology, meaning like the phone and the computer.
Okay.
And then the next part would have to be social media, because where we live, we still have lots of public health orders regarding the pandemic. So, I need a community. And I guess the third one that I don't have, and I wish I did, I wish that I had like a home, with a lake. It doesn't have to be like anything extravagant. I would just love to have to live in a place where I could look out to beautiful view, like a lake and trees and mountains. That would be the dream.
Okay. That'd be in kind of a lake house would be the thing to make you happy if it was materialistic.
Fire pit, place to swim and lay out on a dock, that kind of thing. We could all lounge. We could have tacos for dinner tonight, that kind of thing.
Ooh, good.
Cinco de Mayo tomorrow too, so we can have tacos tonight and we can have tacos tomorrow night.
Maybe it's Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, so we could also have tacos tomorrow. Okay. Go ahead.
Taco week, Moon says. Moon also said Moon said the 3 things that would make him happy would be a small cactus plant, a skateboard or a bike, and a massive collection of books. That's how I know you're you're smarter than a 2.7 GPA, is because if you're someone who likes books in that sense, it means you got a big brain up there, much more than some of the rest of us. Because I mean, I could not sit down and read a book, probably because of my ADHD.
I love books, Brandon. You should start listening to books.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this with one of my friends, Kyle, and if you are in here, hi Kyle, if you are, I know you lurk sometimes, and you sometimes you aren't always close to your phone as sometimes, as you told me the other day, but I know you do support the stream in different ways, but if you are here, hi. As far as that is, we were talking the other day about how there's a certain book that he reads every single year, and he just continues to read it, and he loves reading through books once, twice, 3 times, and
That's
things
amazing.
like that. Donovan,
I love books, from children's books to novels, fiction, nonfiction. I love it all. Yeah. And I do read. I have a huge library, but mostly it's on my Kindle now. But I have almost 1,000 books alone just on one Kindle.
Donovan says we gotta get Brendan rich so he can buy us all that for us, Mama Lisa.
And you know what, Donovan? You know what I'd like at that lake house? I'd like to have a plot of land where everybody, like a whole community, we could all live on that plot of land together. I would love that. That would be the dream. Even if I live in a little teeny tiny house, I would love to build a community of us, a bunch of friends, just all buy a plot of land together.
So
that's the dream.
So it was something that was a little while back, is that we had a couple house guests kind of in a call together. It wasn't all the house guests, so just so we're clear, because if there's any house guests that are in here, I'm sorry. It's not like you weren't a part of it or anything like that. It was just one of those kind of random things where a couple people jumped in, and we were talking, and we were like, wouldn't it be cool if we had we joked of the comment of the hype house, and which is basically a bunch of creators coming together and being all together in a house, but all of us are also at the age of 20, 20-ish or older, so to the point where like where most of us have moved out with significant others. So actual hype house would not be as kind of probably the greatest idea considering we have significant others with us in all that sense. But maybe like a hype office in some sort of sense. I mean, it might be something in the future is maybe we all live kind of near each other in some sort of sense, and everyone has like an office that they kind of go to in that day or something, or that family can go to in that kind of sense, and
Yeah.
we all stream together. And I mean, it's something that it would definitely be an interest, especially with all the previous house guests. If there's some people interested, it's something that we can definitely talk about in the future when things get moving here, because I can tell there's some the people that we've interviewed on this podcast, there's some brilliant minds, and especially the ones that are even some that are coming up as well too, that are just going to be definitely going to be pushing in the future. Yeah, good luck getting CJ to leave his state. Donovan, you have no idea how much I've been pushing for that. The Hollow Moon says podcasts and audiobooks are the best, to be honest. I think I maybe I watched one or two. And Breadcrumbs also says, yeah, me either. I'm assuming you're saying me neither is like you're not much of a reader. I think that's kind of what it is. Finn is back. Finn says, for me, it depends on the books. I prefer history or animal books. Finn loves his animals. I believe archaeology, is that how you say it? With the research of dinosaurs, I believe, if I'm correct. And then also the
Paleontology.
maybe, yeah. And then the and then biology. I know he's a big fan of too. He's probably
Awesome.
he is the most educated thing about a lot of things of biology, and he's so interested in it. It's definitely inspiring to me from whenever I hear him talk about it, because he's so
I
passionate about
love
it.
it when people, that's what I love is when someone, it's so inspiring when someone talks to you about things that they're passionate about and
Totally.
shares that. It makes me want to, like, study the history of dinosaurs.
Sure.
Okay.
Moon says a self-sustaining community is such a vibe, a life goal. Exact right?
It is. Yes,
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
And then Breadcrumb says, I like podcasts, but not so much books. See, I'm kind of the same way. I like receiving information. Like, that's not part of it. It's just receiving information in a way that I can understand. So maybe audiobooks is the way for me to go. But I'm also very visual. I like to physically watch podcasts. I don't like to listen to them as much. I kind of, I almost like zone out and don't pay attention to it half the time. And so that's why I kind of like watching visually, because then I can see how people react, how people's faces are. That's why also this is on this. However, in the future, we might be putting this on Spotify. We've been looking into that kind of resources of getting that, because some people are that way, where they like to listen to things rather than actually physically being there. We finally caught up on chat. That was amazing. We're gonna go to the next one here. Do you have any secret hobbies or skills that most people wouldn't know about it? Bonus points if I don't know about that skill either.
Okay. Well, there's just some things I'm not sharing.
Oh, you're cutting out again here.
Still hobbies.
Oh, hang on. Are you balanced out here? You hit a bit of a leg spike there. Oh, there you go. You're back. Awesome. Good.
I'm back. Yeah, yay, back. Okay, so secret hidden talents that you don't know about. Well, I think that for the last few years, I've been doing more things with art, and I think that you probably know this, but because you actually have like one of my paintings in your place.
I
but
do.
so I've been painting more. I used to consider myself an advanced beginner, but I think I'm actually becoming even better and finding out who I am and how like what I like to paint, what I like to do. But I'm also branching out in art in terms of like using multimedia. And so on Thursday, I actually have a one-on-one Zoom call with a a woman that I used to teach with, who does this special Japanese type art using torn paper within the art, and the torn paper gets built up and it looks like a painting.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to be learning that type of art. So there's no way you and Juliana did not know about that. And I've just bought some of the new supplies that are needed for that. And I'm very excited to try it, but also a little bit nervous. So there you go.
In the chat too, Donovan says, "I hear Mama Lisa's a phenomenal rapper, actually." And then
maybe Christmas present wrapping, yes, but not the kind of Yeah, no.
There you go. There you go,
I think
Donovan. You got your clip, Donovan, to save there.
I am a really good poet too, and I do write poetry. I shouldn't say really good, but it's something that I do as a hobby is that I do write.
See, it sounds like you're a good poet and you do know it. um,
That's a rap. I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
and then there is breadcrumbs that said, "I have seen your art. It's so beautiful." Thank you. That's awesome. Lovely comment.
That's so
Um,
nice. Yeah.
see, Donovan says, "See, rapping is just poetry with a beat behind it." There you go. See, you're exactly there. You go. You guys are on the same page now.
There you go.
Um, all right, so let's go. So then the art. So I guess that would be kind of one that maybe most people don't know. I obviously, like you said, me and Julian obviously know because we've seen how much art is around your house and things like that. But yeah, no, that would definitely be one eye that I know. Um, Here's one for you. And I know this. I know in the past, at least, it has definitely changed because I've seen kind of, especially with you going into art and things like that. It's changed throughout the kind of years as well, kind of the art side of things. Maybe this could just be in life. It's totally up to you how you want to take this question. Who or what inspires you?
I think that I'm inspired by people who are very positive and follow sort of daily habits. And I know that might not make too much sense, but I find that um, I've been watching the Drew Barrymore show since it started. I don't know if it's um, around the world, but definitely in U.S. and Canada. It's a daily talk show, and I find that she's so positive, and I learn so much, and I find that I'm inspired by that. And then I do like a deep dive and into like a Google search on things that she shares that I'm interested in. So Oprah was someone that was big in my day, so I find that Oprah still to this day, there's things about her that that maybe that I don't agree with, but there's so many things that I find that she does that's so inspiring in terms of like education and charity and passion. She loves teachers and reading as well, and then I find that my I get inspired just by things that may pop up that I see, whether it's YouTube, old fashioned, I know, but still YouTube and things that I see, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'd love to try that. Maybe it's I should say TikTok because it could be a recipe that I want to try. It could be even a dance. I'd like to do yoga. So I find if I see something and then it inspires me, I usually do try at least try it.
Okay. Yeah, and then yeah, TikTok. There's so much information almost all at once. It's so quick information. You can get so
Mhm.
super fast and very quickly. The and yeah,
What I wanted to say for our time is that I believe that everyone today should tap into Brene Brown because she deals with empathy, and she basically her message is to show up even if you're awkward, and basically just be kind to yourself and to others, be gentle, and just try even if you fail, right? And so like she's someone of our time we need to listen to. She's from Texas. And another person, a Canadian who's like an amazing man, his name is Malcolm Gladwell, and his books on audio, Brendan, is something that I would say that's a starting place for you because I've learned so much from say Brene Brown and from Malcolm Gladwell about the kind of person I want to be. Plus they've taught me so much about the world around me.
it's funny that the quote by Brene Brown. It's kind of funny. That's the same quote that we use in our Discord. And it's what's it called? It's come around. What's it called? It's okay if you're a little shy, if you're a little bit nervous. Exclamation mark Discord. We'll get you that link to the Discord. But can come say hi. What's it called? We have game nights. We also play Minecraft. We have a server that's going live. It is currently offline right now, just so the mods can enjoy this stream, not having to worry about modding two things at once. But what's it called? But after the stream, it will be returned back on, and I'm sure we'll have some people in there. You'll probably be able to catch our friend Bradley in there. I will likely be in there later today. Maybe not right away, but I'll definitely be in there later tonight. And it also gets turned off, just so you guys know as well, during game nights. The game nights, it will be turned off during the few hours that we play the game and stuff like that, just so we can all enjoy the same kind of game. We're not having people split into different places. But after those kind of hours, we'll be able to do that. Wait one sec.
Okay,
um,
we hear you.
you can. They can't.
Oh,
Let's go.
okay.
Let's go. This mic. This mic. They hear. Well, I mean, they might have been able to hear a little bit of that though. That's all right. Um, as long as I'm not doing it right into the mic where everyone's blowing out everyone's speakers. Um, what are you passionate about in life? Thank you, Donovan, by the way, for
Evolve,
the.
learning. I love learning, evolving as a human, and just trying to be every day a better human than I was the day before. So, and I believe in that. Like I believe in um, kindness, empathy. There's more I could say on it, but I think that that's huge, and I want those to be, all caps about loving kindness, and kind people are my kind of people, and kindness does matter. And I think I also um, encourage people to keep an open mind, and to help understand others.
Juliana, by the way, says agree, mom. So we got that. We got the
I love
in
you.
the chat. um. Okay, let's go. And I like that. I think is it's a is be a better human than you were yesterday. I think that's something that you and obviously is has as you can see in the chat, you've taught me and Juliana throughout our lives is kind of is you don't have to not every day has to be the best day and not every day has to be the perfect day and you don't have to be the perfect person or there's no one that is that person. But as long as you're improving and building on yourself and trying to learn every day and pushing
Yeah.
to kind of learn more in that sense is that you'll always be
we
um,
we are all flawed, and we can always strive to be better, but of course we're always going to have flaws, and that's absolutely okay. Like it's okay to be flawed. Carry on, rise up, do your best.
hmm, I get to that thing there. Um, the okay, yeah, and then just gonna just keep pushing in that sense too as well.
And kindness matters to yourself and to others.
Um, breadcrumbs, what's it called? Yes, and any friends, bring all the friends over into this thing. Thank you. I hope people will like this and appreciate this kind of this format and stuff. So yeah, if you have any friends that might be interested in this, send them a link. Let them know. Let them know what's up. We love having more friends on here. We have Bradley and Donovan who are here to give out drinks if we needed today. Bradley is the main drink giver. I don't know if he's here though. He's kind of disappeared here. I'm sure he's probably gotten a little busy handing all the drinks and pouring too many drinks over. So he might be stuck in the kitchen right now. So Donovan might have to go support him. But well, if you have any more friends that need some drinks, we have a lot of mods in here that'll be able to help with that if needed. Um, let's see here. What do we got? Here's one, and I like this one because it's always a good kind of entry question here before we get into the kind of deeper ones later on. What is something that you are proud about yourself?
Oh, I think I'm an excellent mother.
Okay, okay. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. Okay.
Yeah,
What
there's
makes
so many there's so many moms that doubt themselves, and kids might not know this because their moms may be sharing this with other moms or parents, but most moms think they're doing like a terrible job, and they're so worried every day about their kids. And that's the thing is, for the rest of my life, I will worry about you and Juliana regardless of where you are and what you're doing. It's inherent. It's nothing that I can do to stop it. I'm always concerned about you, and I find that I'm only as happy as you and Juliana are happy. So, like you have my heart and my soul. Like that's it. So that's something that I'm very proud of, and I'm really proud of my teaching because I really just focused on loving kindness and helping children and their families and other adults I work with just feel like they belong and that they matter and that they're seen and they're heard. And that's what we all want, right? We all want to be wanted, and we all want to have a place where we belong. And that's why I think what you're doing, Brendan, is so great, because you're basically saying to people, come on in, sit down, you're welcome here, we want you here, and we care about you.
For sure, and that's kind of the goal of all this is to be able to kind of make more friends. Oh, yeah, and obviously I know you very well, but as far as the like in the is this was one, first off, it's Mother's Day coming up, so I think it was kind of appropriate in that sense. It's also the Twitch affiliate stream, which is going to be kind of pushing me over the mark to where I will be pushing into affiliate, which is why I also
Right.
wanted to make sure that you were there for that, because I think it's kind of important considering you've been here since day one supporting. Um, and also too, as the fact of being able to, I think it was just kind of appropriate. It kind of worked out the best in that sense. But as far as that is usually what we're doing on this, as you know, and just for the, I see there's quite a few lurkers still hanging out around here, and thank you for hanging out and not muting this or and just staying by, and whether you're listening and just not conversating, that's totally okay. We do love to hear input though. If you guys are interested.
Thank you all for being here, because we
Exactly.
know that there's so many other things you could be spending your time with. So we
Totally.
appreciate that you're spending your time with us.
Exactly, for sure, and I think as far as that kind of thing, as it was kind of said right there, is I don't need donations. There is obviously the buy a stream deck donation thing on the top corner there. Um, it's an added bonus. That'd be really cool to have, but it's not something it's not a need. Or I mean, if it was a need, it would already probably be already here. And for to be honest with you, it's just something that would obviously improve the stream, as well as subs. When after the stream, when we do get that sub kind of thing, is I mean, I'm going to be very grateful for you guys subscribing, but I'm more grateful than anything for you guys spending your time and hanging out and kind of building that connection. I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of different people, and that was the goal when I started this about a month and a half ago, was to get to know a bunch of people and get to make some new friends. And I can say I've definitely made a lot of really close friends in the last couple months here, whether it be previous house guests, which I've been very fortunate to communicate with almost every single one since after their episodes have ended. Whether that be in a small conversation or a very long, drawn out conversation that's still continuing on. Yeah, if CJ's here, I'm talking to you. And then also too is also meeting their friends as well. In that sense, is a perfect example of this is Donovan, and I met Donovan through CJ, and I'm very fortunate to have met him. And now look at him, what's called, just so you know, he did say from earlier when you put your comments about that, he said Mama Lisa, best mom confirmed. So
Oh, that's
from
so
earlier, so
sweet, Donovan. Thank you. I totally adore you, Donovan. And Bradley too, Brendan. Like, Bradley deserves a shout out, because unless Bradley sleeps in, Bradley's always
for
here,
sure.
serving drinks and welcoming guests.
True.
Awesome.
Exactly. Bradley is always here, and if Bradley isn't here too, also as well, which of course he's got a very very busy life as well, but he usually is also later at night, the one who makes sure that we are able to have the Minecraft server up and running. He's usually in there hanging out with people and kind of keeping everything going and moving in the um into the Discord. So if you guys don't meet Bradley on here, you'll meet him over there. I think he has been kind of busy serving out those drinks, or whatever he may be doing. But we do love Bradley, and Donovan says love you both. We love you too, Donovan. We
Love you
appreciate that
too.
you're hanging out with us, and anyone else who is also looking to here. Thank you for that as
Yeah.
well. We are hitting the point where we are going to take a break. When we get back from the break, we will be doing deeper questions. If you guys have some questions for us, you can do exclamation mark chat to join the chat, or you can just throw it in the Discord, or sorry, throw it in the Discord, throw it in the chat as well. That's totally okay as well. And we will try and get to those answers throughout the stream, whether it be right away or later in the stream. But please stay tuned. We are going to hit a quick break, and then we will be right back.
Okay, and I was like, that's true, alright? Because I'd seen someone else doing super successful, and I'm like, why can't that be me? I can't be happy for them, blah blah blah, they're doing so good. And I'm like, you know, just because someone is doing good doesn't mean that you're doing bad. We live in capitalism, so someone's success is your downfall.
Recently, I've been asking streamers toilet paper over or under, and here's what they said.
Toilet paper over or under? Over 1,000,000%. It's just so much easier. Why the fuck would it be under? Why?
Toilet paper over or under? I just wash my ass with my hands, bro. Easy. Don't have to waste toilet paper. Very eco-friendly. All you gotta do is have a bucket with some soap water. Dip your hand in that bitch. Wipe your ass, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay, first, toilet paper over or under? I usually put it in the butthole. No, it's over for sure. Over 100%.
Toilet paper over, under, over. And if you disagree, you're wrong.
Toilet paper over or under? God, the most important question. What did you just fucking say?
Over?
Dead to me.
Under.
Don't fucking play with me. Under. If you put it under, you could just rip across. You put it over, you gotta like be careful or the whole roll's gonna end up on the fucking floor. No way.
This is part 7 of asking streamers, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Here's what they said.
What's the single best piece of advice you've ever heard? Ooh, that's a good one. Live life doing things knowing that if you don't do it, you'll regret it. So do things that you know that if you don't do it, you'll regret, you know? So just live life to the fullest and don't regret anything. You don't want to grow old and live life and be like, wow, I wish I did that. You don't regret things that you did. You regret things that you didn't do more than the things that you did do. So really don't care about anyone else's opinions, and there'll always be people that'll be judging you. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be regretting, even if it turns out bad, because you're going to be like, wow, I did it. It may not have turned out good, but I did it.
Recently, I've been asking streamers, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? And here's what they said.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Nut sauce.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Nut creme. You know the little French apostrophe? Creme. Nut creme. There we go. Nut creme. I think that's fucking perfect.
No, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? The first thing that comes to mind, sticky brown. I know that's terrible. I know that's absolutely terrible. But it's better than some stupid, like, fucking nut juice. I don't know. Oh.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Nut juice? No, wait.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Yeah, no, I can't think of anything. Because it's still buttery, you know what I mean? It's fucking peanut butter. It's peanut butter. There's nothing else. It's the best one.
Recently, I've been asking streamers, what 3 items would you bring to the register if you were trying to make a cashier uncomfortable? Here's what they said.
What 3 items wanted to make the cashier uncomfortable? Condoms, baby food, and icy hot.
What 3 items would you bring to the register if you wanted to make the cashier at the grocery store uncomfortable? 1 carrot, a pack of condoms, and lube. Extra large, yeah. Well, they're going to be able to fit around the carrot. Sounds like a fun night alone. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So,
question. What 3 items would you bring to a cashier at a grocery store if you wanted to make the cashier uncomfortable? Hemorrhoids cream, zucchini.
That just touches close to home.
And applesauce.
It's the worst dessert possible. You're just making up.
This is part 4 of asking streamers, what's the best advice you've ever received? Here's what they said.
What's the single best piece of advice you ever received? Whoa. And it is crazy. Brent is bringing out the sentimental in me. But it'd be get to know yourself first. And I know that sounds really, really, really simple, but you go deep diving into it. Someone said that to me when it was really, really, really important. I'm not entirely comfortable getting super into detail, but it was right around when I found out that Queen Deviant herself was pregnant, and I was really, really having a rough time. Freaking out, you know, new dad, feelings. I was questioning the way I was going about things and whether I would inadvertently kind of like fuck up my child, because I dealt with a lot of shit growing up. Try to know yourself like you would someone you're falling in love with. Know yourself first. Everything else will figure itself the fuck out. Know yourself first.
Are people gonna understand? Are people gonna watch? Does anyone care? It must be crazy. Am I crazy for doing this? No one's gonna watch this. Gonna understand. Who cares? Think of it. If I just don't do it. Must be crazy. Does anyone care? Who cares? What if it doesn't work? Why? Are people gonna watch? Am I crazy? No one's gonna watch this. Welcome to my Twitch stream. I've been asking streamers what's the best advice they've ever received. And here's what they told me.
What is the single best piece of advice I've ever received? Somebody just put like life into a bigger perspective for me. So they're like, listen, your 20s are a very small part of your life. Risk a lot of things in order to make the rest of your life better. So my thing was like, I'm just going to try a bunch of shit, risk a bunch of money even. Like I floated money into crypto. It's doing great now. I'm happy about that. That's a big risk that I probably wouldn't take if I had a family and children and things like that. But in my 20s, I could do it. I can lose all my money tomorrow and I have a job. I'll be fine. But if I have kids, I can't be risking shit like that. So just take risks while you're young. It's the best piece of advice I've ever received. So don't have kids. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Hi. Sorry, my mic wasn't on right away there. We're just getting Mama Lisa coming back in here. We're gonna cut that here because we're about to go full circle on that on the TikTok videos. That usually doesn't happen. We usually don't get that far into those videos, but we're back. Welcome. Thank you for everyone staying there. Breadcrumbs making some bacon, eggs, and hash brown. Still, I'm saying you need to bring us some because those sounds way too good. But yeah, thank you for all staying back here. As you guys know, is after the breaks we usually go into deep questions. For those of you that are new, like our good friend Moons, who has been in here for a while, that's kind of a part of it. Is we do after the breaks we always go into deeper questions. We don't just jump right in there head first. We do go into a little bit of questions leading into that, but we will slowly kind of get into the deeper questions as we go on here. And also more interesting than not, it is also my mother, so it'll be definitely interesting to see how the deep questions go in as far as this one. Starting off with one, and as it is the one that I like because it is something that I do sometimes struggle with, is what helps you decompress or relax?
I find that the best thing for myself is to make sure that I'm in a comfortable place. Usually it's my bedroom, and most often time it's my bed, but I like to put in my earplugs, make sure that my eyes are closed and that I'm breathing, and if I have to follow like a meditation or sound gong or something like an app on my phone, I do that, but I make sure that I take time to breathe. And I did take a mindfulness course where I learned that you're supposed to take 5 deep breaths in and out at least 5 times a day. So you make it like a daily habit. And I really find that even now, like I'm tired right now, I'm exhausted, like I'm putting on the smile because I'm on, visiting with you all. But I need that time to like breathe, and also I do regular yoga practice, and I find that it also really helps me decompress. So both of those things. And of course, if I just want to enjoy myself, then I'm putting my feet up, I'm wearing my comfy socks and my slippers and a blankie, and I'm all cozy on a couch in my bed, and I'm watching Netflix, or I'm watching something on Prime Video, or even Disney Plus. I'm watching things that make me happy, and that always helps me decompress. Of course, scrolling through social media and such, but yes, those are all daily habits that I need to do to decompress.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think as far as me is, I'm sure it's probably learned due to you. Is the breathing. I often find myself whenever I'm feeling a stressful situation, I'll start breathing, and whether it be deep in and out sort of thing for like a few minutes, or just whether it be a minute, however much time I have, really, finding that time to kind of just breathe and kind of catch my breath essentially. And it definitely something that usually feels good too. And when you end up
I
getting
hope everybody's doing that right now. Like
right.
Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw.
Right. And
speaking
of yoga too, is our good friend Metafish, who was in here earlier, and I know he had to go and leave to go do some things here and get set up as well. But he is also I could be wrong about this, but I know he's into yoga. I think he might be a yoga instructor as well. I do know in the if it wasn't so darn early for me, he does could be wrong about this. I think I'm right. Tuesday and Thursday he does yoga sessions at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I told him if it wasn't 5 a.m. in the morning for me, I definitely would do it with him. But I said there's no way I'm waking up at 5 in the morning when I'm not getting heavily paid for that. So, but if you guys are ever up around that time, those crazy hours, go tune in. If you guys are on the East Coast, it'd be a whole lot easier to go tune in. Or if you're on a time zone that maybe matches up better with Eastern Standard Time at 8 a.m. I definitely go check it out. From what I've heard, it's really awesome and does really well. And from watching previous VODs, it looks pretty amazing and pretty awesome. And if you guys know Metafish as much as I have been slowly getting to know him, and with him more or less jumping in the chat, we haven't had too many conversations except for setting up the stream for next week. Is that he is a very calm, relaxed, and nice guy, and his vibes over there are very nice. But we'll be talking to him next week, next Tuesday. So it'd definitely be something you guys want to tune in for. Since we're talking about breathing and relaxing. And sorry, Donovan, I see that you and Bradley put something there. Bradley says round 2 questions. I guess that's what I want to add to that. Go. Donovan said, my internet broke. I'm back though. We're glad you're back. I'm sorry about the internet though. We know the internet struggles all too well over here today, unfortunately, because of what has been happening with this morning of things not working, or just more actually now this afternoon, things not working and things struggling to work, especially with Discord. We're glad you guys are all here though as well, spending your day with us. This one's kind of interesting to me. If you could ask a single person one question and they had to answer truthfully, who and what would you ask? And they can be alive or dead. What's up, Nate? How's it going, dude? Welcome to the stream.
Hi, Nate. I think that I could include many people, dead and alive, celebrities, non-celebrities, but I think that I would really start personally with my grandpa, my mom's dad.
Okay.
His name was George. And I think that I would ask my papa questions relating to his past and to the war. And I think that in regards to his past is that, if I may just say like a little story, it's quite amazing, is that I don't know if you and Juliana know, but my grandpa was literally when he was born, he was given by his mom to a farmer that already had 5 daughters and a wife, and really wanted a son. So his mother gave him away. There was no adoption process back in those days, which is like 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say it wasn't, but it was.
Pretty close to, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he did spend much of his life searching for other siblings and finding out information, but I don't know a lot of it, and I wish that I did. And what's sad is that my mom shared with me that she found out after my papa died, I think that's what it was, is that he was mistreated and abused by the family that actually took him in. So it's really, really sad and hurtful, but even though it's sad and hurtful, I would like to hear his story. Like, I would like to know his story, because it really is part of me, and it's part of you, Brendan, it's part of Juliana. And that generation did not talk about their feelings. Basically, what most of them did is they self-medicated with alcohol. And it's just really super sad that I don't know. So that would be something that I would really like to, hold that little George close and let him know how loved he is and how thankful that I am for my life and what I've had, and the freedoms I've had, especially since the sacrifices he made, even for our country. It's like, mind-boggling, right?
How did you guys find? You said grandma found it out, right?
Yeah,
How
your
did
grandma.
how did
my
gra-
mom.
how was grandma find that? How did grandma find that out? Because you said after he passed away
That's
was.
that's what I don't know is that in like I find that the generation before me is like a generation of like secrets, things that they don't really talk about, like we do today. Do you know what I mean? There were so many things that they just didn't discuss. Like I'm so much more open, but that's not necessarily common even among my generation. Like your generation is starting to discuss things and not keep, everything in the dark and, as we said, swept under the rug, just to, that's like, just to keep everything, on the
Quiet.
down low.
Yeah.
You're bringing things to light and discussing things that bizarrely we never shared before.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree, and we've talked about this as you've probably seen on the podcast before. Is things about like things in that sense, which kind of segues perfectly to the next question. What social stigma does society need to get over?
Oh my goodness, there are so many I could talk about. Including. Okay, so may I just, for myself, I'll say one
Yes.
thing, is that I actually am considered disabled because I'm ill, and I actually have one of the. I'm unable to drive because of my vision, due to a stroke, and my so I have the placard that for the handicap parking spot, and other people do drive me places, and sometimes, not always, sometimes we use the handicapped um, parking pass, and I've noticed other people have come very close to saying things to us when we've parked, because I think people think that in order to be disabled, you have to be physically disabled in a wheelchair. So one day I might need a wheelchair because it will help me with my mobility, but not right now. And but I still am allowed to use that pass. And that's one thing that I've noticed. So that's something that people need to understand. And then the other hot topics for me are things like transgendered people's rights and just the way we treat human beings. Um, Gender. I'm because it's so prevalent today. Black lives do matter. We need to stop the Asian hate, and of course, I am an ally. I am not. I don't. Or I don't. I'm not physically in the LGBTQ plus etc. Like I'm not sure of all the inclusive letters and plus signs I'm supposed to say, but I'm not someone who identifies in the queer community, but I am an ally. I'm a safe place, and I stand with those people. So I believe, as like the privileged white woman, I actually can't sit on the fence. I can no longer stay silent. If you are silent, then you're actually um, promoting old stigmas that are there. You're promoting racism. You essentially you are racist. Like if we're going to that all that route. So I think I'm covering all the bases, and I really hope that I did not forget to include something that was important for me to say.
Like that, and I think is you did
And
like
I
you
got
said.
a little passionate there. I got a
Yeah,
little bit
that's
excited because
okay.
that it matters to me, and I'm doing my part by saying, and on my social media, I mean, it's like, ooh, big deal, my social media, which is not much, that's why I'm saying it, but I'm doing my part by saying out loud, I am an ally, and all these people do matter, these human beings do matter. So, rah, rah, rah,
Right.
Mama Lisa. Stan is here for you.
Right, exactly. And yeah, for sure. And I think is it's always been, especially your house, and obviously now we're doing it in the Bren's residence. It's always somewhere that everyone can go, and everyone's included in some sort of way, and there's no bashing of anyone in that sense. And obviously we do have guidelines for certain things, and that's sort of thing. Just because I'm going to read the chat here. Bradley says, before you went on your little passionate tangent there, is that he loves your glasses, Mama Lisa. He said.
Oh, Juliana chose these glasses for me. Thank you. But I have to give total credit to Juliana because she chose them. She was actually going to get them, decided to keep her old frames, and so I was like, well, if they were good for Juliana, then I could take them. And I actually, whoops,
You okay?
stuck my hair there. I actually don't. I'm still getting used to seeing myself in glasses because I only used to need them for reading, but now I'm actually need them for distance. So thank you. Thanks for mentioning the glasses.
Yep.
Let me see what.
I'm pretty sure Bradley got blue light glasses, so I think that's probably a big part of why he's a fan of the glasses, because he's starting to wear blue light blocking glasses too recently. That I saw, but I would say though, but even before he got his glasses, he was also mentioned when he saw the promo of it too. He kind of thought it was kind of funny that we're both wearing glasses, and it was kind of like it was quite fitting for how we word. So.
And your old glasses used to sort of look like mine, Brendan.
They did, yeah.
The ones that were black.
Yeah, they
That's
did.
so funny. And it's weird because Brendan has worn glasses since he was 10 years old. And I never wore glasses. This is new for me to wear glasses since I had my stroke, because I used to wear ones that were dark glasses for a few years because I couldn't handle light. I'm still very light sensitive, but it's become increasingly better. And yeah, it's so funny that now that you, Juliana, and I are glasses.
Right? Yeah, I know. It was weird for a while there. I was the only one in the family for a long time wearing glasses, or at least contacts, and now it's everyone. Donovan says from your thing there, he said, "Mama Lisa's for the people." Exactly, Donovan. You hit it right on the head there. And Bradley says that you're welcome, and that he's been a fan of glasses for a while. So also is Breadcrumbs is asking what drink you have in Mama Lisa. It looks really good.
Yes, it is really good. It's a raspberry lemonade.
Ooh, that's so good.
Look, I treat myself. I even put ice cubes in it, you know.
Ooh.
Cheers,
Jeez.
everybody. Thanks to Bradley served it to me. Thanks, Bradley.
There you go. See, look at that. The kids are doing their work here and in the Discord. If you do !Discord, you can see where Bradley does the hardest of work, and as well as the rest of the kids in there as well, serving up drinks. And I know Donovan was serving up drinks there earlier too, for when Bradley had to bippity bop for a second there. For the, let's see here, what else we got for questions here. However, I will say, just kind of going back to what you said about the stigmas too, is I agree with every single one of them. I think obviously a lot of these questions are going to be something that we have a lot in common, because I was raised by you, and so obviously there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to very highly agree with. I mean, there's a chance that not everything will be, but for the most part is going to be, I'm going to be relating to a lot of it because it's things I've heard throughout my life. But I think it's interesting also to see your story and how kind of things that you get passionate about, whereas obviously there's going to be different things that we get passionate about, obviously, because we're different people. But there would be something that it's definitely something that I'm passionate about in that sense of those kind of like being quiet isn't enough at this point, and speaking up is definitely something that we all need to do, and to kind of to support each other. And it definitely segues into what possibly will be the next kind of branch of connections, is bringing on either past guests or new guests that have like really deep stories and towards things like this, and have had to deal with, unfortunately, some struggles towards whether it may be like Black Lives Matter, Asian hate, or like or Stop Asian Hate, the LGBTQ plus community, whatever it may be, like with those struggles and how they've had to do that's kind of what we are looking for, kind of future guests. If you guys also know anyone that might be interested in this format that has a story to tell, I'd love for them to hit me up on Discord and let me know, or even that would probably be the easiest, actually. Let's just keep it at Discord, because I think if it goes too far, it might be that. But if you guys are interested, please let me know. I'd be happy. It doesn't have to be a creator in any sense. I mean, it definitely is a bonus if it is. But I am totally okay if it is just someone who has a really awesome story that can tell, or any kind of story really that they would be willing to tell on a live podcast. I'd love to hear it, because I think it's something that we can. The more we talk about it and almost reduce that stigma and kind of shed light on it, I think it definitely helps every group in some sort of fashion, in that sense, or any community in that fashion.
I actually have a story of being victimized by racism, but it's not something I will share right now. If it's not like the the most appropriate time, I would love to come back sometime and share that story if you want, or I can share it now.
It's up to you. It's totally up to you. If you like to share it, that's totally fine with me. No problem at all.
Should I tell you right now?
Sure, if you'd like to, that's all good.
I don't. This is a story. I had no idea if you or Juliana even know. When I was 12 years old, my twin sister, my grandpa, not the one that I was talking about. So this time it's my dad's dad, who we called Papa Solly, same last name as I have. Is that we were going on the CP rail train from Vancouver, BC. It's a beautiful train station there. It's changing now, of course, with time, but it's a beautiful train station. And we were going on it was like a 12-hour train ride to Sicamous, BC. It's like in the interior of British Columbia, to visit my grandpa's sister and her husband.
Yep.
And we were going for 3 days, train there, train home. Well, on the train ride home, we were waiting on this little teeny tiny platform in the middle of nowhere in Sicamous, BC. It was a little tiny platform. This huge train stops for us. It's a passenger train that they had at the time. They don't even do this anymore, I don't think. In Canada, we should have more. We do have like passenger trains, but it's not the same as it was back in the olden days when I was 12. And we got on, and the train, and there's like a conductor waiting for us with our tickets, and they had a list like this, pen, paper, and they went down and they saw, it would have been like my name, Solly, my sister's name, Solly, my grandpa's name, Solly. And the conductor looked at us visually, 3 Caucasian people, and was like in shock and said, "We thought you were from India because of your last name. So we actually don't." My grandpa had ordered these little places where it's like little beds you can sleep on.
Mhm.
People who probably, if you've been on a train or watched on TV, really awesome, because on the way there we had it, like a sleeping platform. And they had, even though my grandpa had paid for us, they had taken us out of there, and they had put us in this cage-like place where they had animals and people of Asian and South Asian descent were sitting on these like dirty poop-filled benches where like livestock was. So I remember as a child thinking, what? Like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't look like it looked on the inside of what we had last time. Why are we being put into these like cages with animals?
Mhm.
I loved animals, but so it wasn't like I was like saying I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And then they brought us into this little place, had us climb up these stairs to this little loft that I was 12 years old and I couldn't even sit up. So basically they were bringing us to this little loft area where we had to lay down. And my grandpa was like, no way. Like, he freaked out. But in the end, my sister and I got put in like a passenger car with some random woman who was like in her 40s, that we didn't know her. And my grandpa had to stay back in that sort of cage area because they didn't have enough room. So it was really shocking, because it's something that I had never seen in my lifetime. That like, I didn't know that it would be that SHIT, like that, actually happened. And it actually happened. So
That's crazy.
so unfortunate. I remember looking at the people that were in sort of that almost like cage-like place, and everybody, in my opinion, looking back now, everybody looked so sad and defeated. Nobody talked. Everybody, they were all quiet, and everybody looked unhappy. Versus the passenger train, where everybody was eating, and there was like dinner, and it was like celebration, and then it was like, you know, back of the train, everybody's all quiet and sad and cold. It was freezing cold in there too. It's so there was like no heat. It's just barbaric, ridiculous.
That's I it's something that I'm like, it's almost like shocking that that was in your lifetime that even happened, which is like I mean I unfortunately there's things not obviously maybe that blatant, but it definitely happens in certain systems and things like that or at other races, and obviously it's the almost, I don't know if bubble is the right word, but almost the bubble that we're in a sense of where we don't even see like certain things because we are kind of that privileged white person identification kind of thing. But obviously, if there's that sense of like things that, and I'm sure you agree, is that that's not right, and there's no sense of that was okay of being able to treat people like that in that sense, and even like obviously we're obviously on like human rights in a sense, but obviously even like for animals too is also just like freezing cold and stuff like that too, is even having animals in there too. But like staying on to more of the human rights side of things is I think it's like it's crazy to think that there was, and you said there was everyone was like some sort of Asian descent, you said, or like looked like they had come some sort of like Asian like ethnicity, and that's so sad because it's like thinking of like how like how sad it is, and like it's something that no one period should go through, but even so much as someone who just because you have a skin color that might not look the same as maybe the majority of people that live in that area, you get treated differently is just disgusting and gross.
And what was really sad too is that I remember like it was all kind of, I was processing it all, right? It was all coming to me. No adult there was explaining to me what was going on and what was happening. I was figuring this stuff out on my own because everybody was really quiet. They weren't sharing information with my sister and I, but I could tell by the whole mood that it was like very ominous. Plus, I could tell that the people on that train, when I said they looked so sad and defeated, I remember sitting across from this woman of Asian descent. I remember looking at her, and I remember her not even being able to raise her face and look at my eyes. Like I remember, and I'm a child, right? So I'm expecting like the adult to, like acknowledge this. It breaks my heart. Like this poor woman felt so almost subhuman or sub-important, which is so awful that she couldn't even, she couldn't even raise her head and look at me. It had nothing to do with me. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be at all selfish in this. My heart breaks for those. Well, I mean, this seriously I could compare this to a lot of other horrific things in the world, but this was bad enough. It's sad that people could be treated this way. Like it's just ridiculous because of your frickin' skin color. Ridiculous. Like we all do bleed the same, and inside, at the core, I believe that we all universally are way more similar than we are different. I know that because I've experienced myself. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, that's my story.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's one. Well, let's go. Oh yeah, well, sounds terrible. Yes, you're right. But I think as far as the story is, I'm glad you shared it though. It's more what I was going for there than anything. Is I think it was something that it definitely add some light as to kind of how you are as more of an ally than anything. It's not someone that's going to be staying quiet, and also sharing that story is going to benefit maybe one person or hopefully a couple people, and to kind of look around and see like, hey, like maybe there is something that's not right that's already happening in my life that I just haven't noticed until I've heard a story like that. And I mean, hopefully maybe something will the little butterfly effect, and something will change somewhere else. Breadcrumbs says that's such a crazy story. I know, right? Like it's one of those ones that had me pretty speechless through most of it, and kind of the thing. It's just so sad. Like it's crazy because I can even visualize kind of like what would be like what that looks like, and how like gross and dingy that would be, and how terrible people must be feeling in that kind of thing, and Bradley says agreed as well. It's just so sad and makes me like almost sick to like think about it.
Mhm.
Um,
It's sad.
mhm. um, so you talked a little bit about grandparents, but we're gonna bring it down a generation. Are you close with your parents, and why?
Yes, to a point. I can say anything to my mom and dad, as in your grandma and grandpa. I could not when I was younger, but now that I'm, I'm older, now I can, and I can share anything with them. Um, but in my youth, they were so strict that they could not handle the truth. They truly couldn't. And so I find that if there was things that were coming up in my life, I either didn't share it with them, or I lied about it. Like I believe I was sort of forced into that because my parents were so strict.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, because of their generation, didn't share things with me. So it's I love them so much, and I know that they love me. They did the best job they knew how, and as my mom says today, they were so strict because they thought they were keeping me safe. And there's lots of great things to say about that, and it's the way that I turned out was because of the way that I was raised, definitely. So there's some good to it. However, there's there's so much I don't know personally about them because they're very private, closed people. So, I can't get into like the deep questions about with them. It would all be more surface level um, talk, if that makes sense. But I find that whenever I talk to my mom, I always feel better, which is interesting.
Yeah,
So
like
I'm so lucky that both of my parents still are alive. I haven't seen them for so long. As you know, in January, you, Juliana, and I saw grandma for what, 5 or 10 minutes, maybe outside
yeah.
of her house because of this stupid pandemic. So I'm looking forward to nicer weather here so that we can meet them at a park and have like a picnic. But I miss my parents because of this pandemic, and they're not very technologically capable. So once in a while, as you know, grandma maybe on Zoom, but
Mhm.
I actually have to do the old fashioned telephone call with grandma because that's her preference. So
Maybe you say you struggle with deep questions. Maybe I can one day convince Grandma to get on one of these and ask her the deep questions and see how she thinks and see how we get that going. Some in a future episode we can have is a grandma stream.
that would be great. Actually, grandma would love
Oh, I
it,
know she
and
would.
everybody would love grandma, right? Like there's no one that I know who doesn't love my mom because she's so like sweet and precious and
Yeah, for sure.
kind. As I said, I became who I am because of grandma. So, think about it. I was looking at the picture the other day when we went, Juliana, you and I went to Disneyland with grandma. Such great memories. Like I
Yeah,
loved
yeah.
it. I'm like, how many people can, like, I literally could have my mom in the same hotel room for like a week with me, and it's so awesome. Like grandma's so great now, but it's because I'm an adult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
we've had so much fun with grandma.
well, I think what's called just a couple. Well, just kind of speaking on Disneyland too. Disneyland just actually opened, from what I heard. It's just like last week or something like that, and so they just kind of opened their doors back up
Are
to the
they
public.
are they limiting the
I'm
number of people?
sure. I think it's only people residents of California can be in there. Breadcrumbs, we appreciate what's called. We'll see you in a sec when you come right back. Sounds good. But I think as far as the yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's just California residents, and then I think there's like one other like thing that they have to like be able to be get entry into
Go
it.
in.
Yeah, so it's pretty
One day
reduced.
we'll go back. Even if I'm ill, I'm going to like I have because of my disability. I have to like ask for permission to leave the country,
Mhm.
and That's something that I would love to be able to do. I know I'd need a wheelchair in Disneyland. I probably couldn't even handle it very much, but that would be Disneyland with you in Australia, something that I definitely would hope that, we're getting to the bucket list
Right.
question, so I'll buy it.
So yeah, no, is going to meet Harry and Toby in Australia, and our
So,
other future friends that we'll hopefully have on this as well too.
I want to meet the koalas. It's funny because I actually had a koala candle in my bedroom where we were. I had my koala mug and I had my koala necklace. So, I was, I'm manifesting the trip to Australia one
Right.
day. Yeah.
Donovan asks, have you been to Disney World also, or only Disneyland? I've never been to Disneyland before, he said. So let you answer, then I'll answer after.
Okay, so for myself, I've only been to Disneyland several times. Have not been to Disney World, but I would love to go to Disney World in Florida. Brendan.
And then what's it called? And then as far as me, I have been fortunate enough to go to both. I went to Disney World in 2019, basically just like that was the second to last trip that I had before everything locked down. If you guys have heard of my crazy story of me being 20 hours in and out of of airports due to delays and stuff like that, that is where that trip was based off of, was that. So yes, I have been to the Magic Kingdom before in Orlando. Donovan says we have got to get Mama Lisa to the Magic Kingdom. So yes.
I would love to.
Yeah, it was I do prefer.
Wouldn't it be fun if we all went together? It'd be so fun.
Yeah, see, we get a Bren's resident meetup at Disney World. It'd be one of the most expensive meetups you guys have ever paid for, but
one thing I was just thinking about though, which was really bizarre, is when we were at Disneyland last time with Grandma. Even though I loved that trip, unfortunately Juliana had like fever all the time, if you recall, which was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So she slept a lot and didn't feel that well, which was too bad. And my anxiety was so raised, and I have no idea I do think I have an idea, but it was weird that when we were on rides that were like in enclosed spaces, I felt really claustrophobic. And if you remember when we were on some of the rides and they had like a lot of technical issues then, and a lot of the rides kept closing down. Do you remember that? We'd have to wait in the dark in some of the places.
A little bit, yes,
And
vaguely.
a few times I had to ask the park like employees if I could exit like through the side doors and get out, because I was having like, it started like the start of a panic attack, which I didn't want to say anything to you and Juliana. Grandma kind of figured it out, but there was something about the rides, which had never happened to me before, that all of a sudden I felt like claustrophobic and super anxious. And when the rides were too like fast and stuff, I was starting to like freak out. So weird.
I'm wondering if it's related to, because I remember the first time we went to Disneyland when we went with me, you, Dad, and Joanna, is I don't know if, I'm sure you remember this, is you getting stuck on the haunted house ride and it breaking down.
Myself in the little Doom buggy, it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing this because the Doom buggy kept sort of turning around.
Oh, really?
And around in one spot, and then the ghost would come up from the mirror, and I'd be like, "Oh my god!" It wasn't that I'm afraid of the ghost. For some reason, I was alone in that Doom buggy. For some reason, I had this overwhelming feeling like someone was going to touch me.
Yeah, like
even
jump
if
out.
Employees say like, you can walk off here, I probably would have wet my pants because I was so like a bundle of nerves. Yeah. Now I think that I'm properly medicated for anxiety.
Yeah.
So talk to your doctor, and if at first the drugs don't work, please try other ones, because there is help available for you. And do speak out. When I said that I kept it quiet from you and Grandma, because you're children.
Yeah. Yes. At that point, yes.
That it's so important to share the feelings, and it's just something that I'm learning as an adult, and people more and more know that, because don't hold it in. Healing comes when you say it out loud. Say, I'm feeling this way. Even if you don't know the word is anxious, say whatever it is, and hopefully someone will be able to help you. And keep talking until you reach that intelligent person that knows how to deal with your feelings and support you. Because I should be able to say, I feel messy, I feel weird, I don't like the feeling in here. Whatever it is, get it out of you. Don't hold it inside. Another public service announcement from Mama Lisa.
Sure. We are going to hit a quick little break here, and then we are going to go into some deeper questions and kind of wrap it up at the end here. It'll be a quicker break than the last one, but we will be going to a quick little break. And then yeah, so we will see you guys shortly. Stay tuned, and you guys can watch some more of the break TikToks. And I think we're picking up right where we left. Yo, what's up, Wolf Dog? Just hang on. We're gonna go for a quick break, and we'll be right back with some deep questions, Wolf Dog. We'll see you in just a second.
Just gonna try a bunch of shit, risk a bunch of money, even like I floated money into crypto. It's doing great now. I'm happy about that. That's a big risk that I probably wouldn't take if I had a family and children and things like that. But in my 20s, I can do it. I can lose all my money tomorrow, and I have a job. I'll be fine. But if I have kids, I can't be risking shit like that. So just take risks while you're young. It's the best piece of advice I've ever received. So don't have kids. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
I am so petrified of flying. If I die without having stepped foot on an airplane and been able to fly in an airplane somewhere, I have failed.
How we put a number on it? If I put this as a TikTok, and we get enough likes, what would it take for me, after COVID is all done and everything like that, because obviously we got to do it safe, for me to go to you and we go skydiving together?
You said how many what?
How many likes?
How
many likes?
Oh my god, dude. Going skydiving, I'd have to know the dude. We're sitting down for coffee. I want to know how long he's flown, where his mother was born, and then maybe 500,000. 500,000, and I'll consider possibly under the right circumstances.
I've been asking streamers what's the best advice they've ever received. And here's what they told me.
What's the single best piece of advice you've ever received? Listen. This piece of advice is very important to me because I am what you call a jealous person. Because I think I found it on Instagram or some shit. Something stupid. But it said that someone else's success is not your downfall, okay? And I was like, that's true, alright? Because I'd seen someone else doing super successful and I'm like, why can't that be me? I can't.
All right, we're back. So that was a very quick one. We had a quick break. Wolf Dog, hi, welcome. By the way, he says, "What's up?" He says, "What's up, Mama Lisa?"
Woo, so great to see you here. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Right, exactly. And thank you to all of you guys for spending your time with us and hanging out, and whether it be lurking or asking questions or kind of sharing your opinions. We appreciate that as well, very, very much. As we said, we're going into deeper questions. So we're going to get some deep questions going on in here for the last little bit of this stream. In the last probably half hour to an hour of this stream, we're going to go on to some questions and some deep thinking questions, as well as the final kind of bit of this. Deeper questions, Donovan says, exactly, We'll start with kind of we were kind of already getting into kind of deeper as we were going, but we're going to go even deeper here. Let's see here. What is your biggest fear in life?
Hands down, something bad happening to you and Juliana, and then it would extend to the rest of our family. Horrifies me, terrifies me.
Okay. Like something happened to her family in some sort of fashion?
Yeah, something bad. Like, I cannot even say the words because I don't want to manifest it. I do not want something bad to happen.
For those of you that
I can't go there. It's horrifying to me that I just want you safe and happy and healthy.
For those of you that know me and have watched a couple episodes, you know that I'm big on manifesting, and this is likely where I get it from. It's from my mom. And that kind of sense of being manifesting, whether it be small or big, or in that kind of sense, for sure. Let's see Oh, okay. I guess yeah. Okay, so Wolf Dog came here for one reason only. It seems, is to see my downfall. No, I'm kidding. He said, "What is the most embarrassing thing that Brent has ever done? I need the tea." So I will give you this one, Wolf Dog, and I'll give you this one, Mom, as if you can answer that. What is the most embarrassing thing I've done? And now everyone's coming back. Like breadcrumbs is coming back now. So great, fantastic.
What do I share? I'm thinking, like, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking 2 incidents.
Okay, you can share both if you like. It's okay. I was kind of prepared for this, so it's alright. I knew there's a
don't
couple
know if
people.
it's embarrassing, but it's like, it may be, is that okay, so the first one, I only sort of found out details recently. I didn't even know that Brandon was on, like, this is a few years ago. Brandon still lived with me. Brandon did not have a girlfriend at the time, so I did not know that Brandon was on dating apps. It's not something he shared with me. I did not know that he was, like, going out on certain dates or maybe even hookups. Like things that your mother should, makes me want to throw up a little bit in my mouth. Wolf Dog. Okay, so anyway, it's very late at night. Like we're talking after midnight. Mama Lisa is in her bed, snoring on my third dream, and then comes a knock on my bedroom door because it was closed at that time. And I open it to a young lady whom I've never seen before. And she says, "Hi, my name is," and explains that she has come home with Brendan and that he is vomiting in the bathroom and could I come help him? So I'm like, first of all, who is she? And what is going on here? And it's very uncommon, first of all, for Brendan to throw up. Like Brendan doesn't usually throw up. It's rare. And so of course in my little nightgown, I have to like go and find Brendan in the bathroom and wondering why this young woman is home with him. I found out later, why she was there, which is disgusting, and it's something that your mother should never know about. But yeah, that's an embarrassing moment, some of which you need to fill in the blanks. And I can't remember, Brendan, like when I came to you and that happened and what I even like what even transpired there, like how she even got home or what happened.
You're pretty calm. First off, like I think for as far as like handling it.
I think that I'm like even though Juliana says sometimes I overreact, I think it's because I have like sometimes I can be dramatic and a little bit passionate about things, but I have learned, as I've gotten older and I've been a teacher for longer because I've seen it all, is that I try to be calm even if inside my brain things are like I try on the outside I try to appear as very calm, very zen. But inside, I'm like, what the beep is beepity beepity happening here? So that should have been an embarrassing moment for Brendan, but I don't even remember what happened after, why you were throwing up and what had happened.
So first off, someone better clip that beepity beepity beep, what's it called, and all that stuff, because that'll be for a fun clip for later. Second, Wolf Dog's. So everyone's laughing first off of the story. Wolf Dog says that was a good one. He's like, I thought she would hold back, but Mama Lisa went in. Yes, she did. What's good? You said you had a second story, so I want to go to that in a second too, because I think that'd be kind of funny. And it's funny. So this, weirdly enough, and obviously you didn't know this because it's just something that hasn't come up in conversation and everything. It's funny that you remember that though. First off, because I of course remember that. It's something that I remember very, very deeply.
It's because Alyssa and I just talked about it a few weeks ago. That's why.
Okay, so she might have given you an update then recently.
Yeah, and
okay.
That's why it's more in my brain.
So let's go. So I will give the update as much as I can to the point of not giving away too much. But my girlfriend.
Don't need to hear the details.
Sure. What's up? My girlfriend currently right now, as you guys have maybe met, Allegra. She is in the Discord if you guys haven't already. She will be there for tomorrow for game night for Among Us, which we're very excited for because it'll be the second time she's been in a game night, which is really exciting.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, let's go. Because most times, unfortunately, she usually has to work. But the the a young lady that was in the house while I was vomiting um, was just so happened to work at a different location of the place that my girlfriend currently works. Um,
Oh
and
no.
and they what's it called? And by off some random thing, I guess the girl knew who Alyssa was. And went up to her and said, "Oh, like I know your boyfriend. We used to be best friends." They're in a kind of weird kind of way, but I mean, it's like it's not. I think I don't know if it was trying to stir the pot or if it was something. I don't know. I don't know what the intention was. I have no idea. I'm not sure. And obviously, I wish the best of everyone in that kind of sense. But it was kind of a strange way of putting. Thank you, Donovan, for clipping that as well. It was kind of a strange way of bringing up that conversation to Alyssa, considering they've never met in any sort of fashion before that. However, Alyssa, because I'm very, very open with Alyssa, Alyssa did know that what that had happened in the past, and so it wasn't like she was like a big surprise when this random girl basically comes up to her and stuff like that. And so it was definitely a weird kind of conversation, but they had, but it's one of those ones. And as far as that is too, is I like. Yeah, I don't know. Is that it's one of those stories that'll definitely be like I'll be laughing about for a long time, and one of those kind of like those silly kind of moments that that I mean it's kind of funny. I think I had food poisoning. I'm pretty sure. And how she got home? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like gone from my brain as well.
I think it was food poisoning too, because I don't think you had the flu. You definitely were not drinking alcohol, like consuming
No.
alcohol. I think it was like something that you had eaten either with her or before. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So it's gone. It's been a few years,
Yeah,
and
it's been a long time. It's been over. It would have been over about 5 or 6 years now, I think, since that. Considering Alyssa and I are going on 5 years in August, so it's been a thing. Also, not letting you get
so
away with this
let's preface this is that you were an adult,
was
but you
yes.
were young. But you were a young adult. You were probably 19 or 20
Yeah,
at the time.
yeah, about that. Yeah.
You did still live at
No,
home.
yeah,
with your mom.
it would have been like 18 or 19, I think, because that would have put us at about almost 5 years or so. And everyone's saying they want to hear the second story. This Wolf Dog says also not letting you get away with this. Lisa said there was two stories, and Donovan said, "Oh,
Well,
oh, I want the second story now too."
there's probably lots of stories, of course, because I'm his mom.
Yeah.
But let me think. Brandon, do you want to give me a tip off of something I should share?
I don't know. Like it's funny because that was I I obviously refer to that one as one of the kind of more funnier like stories that we've had kind of together. Considering is especially because of the fact that you opened the door to a female that was not someone that you knew whatsoever. There was not like you even like said hi. You didn't know that like I was going out with someone like that. And especially for someone to be in the house, like yeah, I remember like I remember sitting over the toilet and being like, this is not going to go over well, but like I am puking my brains out and I need some like mom support for this. And I felt like I was going to die over on top of that toilet. And so like, yeah, that was the kind of like my thing of I need someone who I know will be on my back. And that had to be super awkward for that girl too. So actually kind of a backstory leading up to that is I said to her, I was like, I need you to go get my mom. She's in that door, blah, blah, blah. Like I need you to knock and say like, hey, like Lisa, I need your help. And I'm sure to you to hear someone's voice that wasn't mine or Juliana's was probably weird. And I don't think Juliana was home at that time. I think she was at dad's at that point.
She
But
wasn't. Yeah, she was there.
what's it called? So I think it was just you and I that were at the house, and I'm sure it was kind of like, something. But what's it called? But I remember she's like, I don't know what to do. And I think she actually knocked first, and you didn't hear it. And she came back. She's like, she's not answering. I was like, go do it again. It was like,
Probably because I wear earplugs when I go to sleep.
oh, probably. And it's called. And it was one of those things. And I'm so sorry. I just realized that my red line on my mic went really high there. So I'm very sorry for anyone's ears I just blew out saying that. But it was the Benno was. I remember she was kind of like awkward for that too. So yeah, Donovan, you're definitely right. As I'm sure I couldn't do that.
Awkward. Of course she'd be awkward. But you know how hard that was probably for her to have to go and knock on someone's door in the middle of the night of their bedroom. It's not even like their bedroom to be like knock knock knock. You know, and in some regards, I think it's maybe it's probably better that it was like a young female, because I remember not being afraid, if that makes sense, because most people would want to be woken up to someone in the middle of the night. That'd be very like terrifying. And that's one thing that surprises me is that I wasn't like afraid at all. So like
Mhm.
I would think I would probably be afraid if that happened, and yeah, because you know what I mean. Like I didn't. I wonder. Like I thought you had like a curfew too. Like I'm surprised that maybe, but I certainly didn't know she was in the house, like
Yeah.
or in your bedroom. Like I didn't know that. So the whole circumstance really is like hilarious. And you're so damn lucky that I am your mother, because some people would absolutely freaking
Yeah. Like.
beepity beepity beep out.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
no, yeah,
mean?
no, I got definitely out pretty scot free. I think it was also because I was probably throwing up, which probably is part of why you didn't didn't give me more
I
shit.
don't know, but regardless, I think I was a pretty you're pretty darn lucky with me as a parent, because I didn't really freak out about you for anything. The only other story that I was thinking of was the time that you borrowed my vehicle and said you were going to that guy that lived on Johnson. What was his name? R something?
Oh, huh? What?
Armin or something? You
What?
were supposed to
Oh,
borrow
oh,
my
Artie.
and go to Artie's house,
Yeah.
which was only a few blocks away. Brandon was a new driver, although because your birthday's at the very end of December, and he of course had to wait to get his driver's license to the very end of the year, right?
Mhm.
And then this is spring break of your senior year. I'll say that for our American friends, of your senior year of high school, which means grade 12 here, that you know you're just about to graduate high school. And so you're supposed to take my vehicle and drive 2 blocks away. It is evening, like late at night. Well, not late at night. It was like 10:30, and I get a phone call that Brendan has completely crashed my vehicle. So, and he's in this place called Belcarra, which is a neighboring city to ours, but it's nowhere near where Brandon's supposed to be. And then I find out that he has been drifting. And if you don't know what that is, yeah, I saw Brendan just doing that with the steering wheel in my vehicle. And I loved this vehicle. It was a Honda
CRV.
CRV, and it had, you know, done me well, suited Mama Lisa so fine. That got me from point A to point B, and it was a beautiful ride. And Brandon at that time did $12,800 worth of damages to that vehicle. It was 8 pages of things
Damages.
of damages that had to be repaired in that vehicle. But thankfully, he and the other two people, Becky and Dylan, survived that crash, because if you saw the way the car looked like sideways in a ditch, um, you would have thought that there would have been injury or something more
Yeah,
severe.
not a single scratch on anyone. I mean,
Thank goodness.
obviously
So
the mental side of it. I think there was probably a bit of like looking back, there's probably a little bit of mental kind of a like toll that it took on all three of us. I think, and I really honestly think that it took a bit of a toll, probably more on my friends more than it did me, unfortunately. But it would be, as far as that, is Alyssa home? Sister Zio, hi, welcome by the way. And I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, but hi. No, she is not. Um, she is currently working, but thank you for coming in and saying hi. And sorry, just going back up to the chat a little bit too, is Mob Cycle. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you in here. Thanks for joining in. Hi. If you guys don't know, if you guys are just joining in and saying hi and hello, we will go back and read the chat in just a second here. Is that this is Mama Lisa. If you guys have ever been in the chat before, you are probably very well acquainted with Mama Lisa, but we are today asking deeper questions. This is my mom. And this is kind of our Mother's Day special of asking Mama Lisa some deep questions and things like that. So yeah, as far as so these are the we've been asked by actually a friend of the stream, Wolf Dog, what story, like embarrassing stories does Mama Lisa have? And so you guys might have missed the awkward hookup story where Brendan was throwing up in the bathroom. If you didn't hear that, don't worry, it'll very likely be on TikTok later, or maybe someone got a clip of it, and possibly, I know there was a clip around that time. I don't know if there's actually a full clip of it. And then the second one was me smashing my mom's, or not almost totaling, it probably should have been totaled at that point. It was pretty close to my mom's car because I was drifting in a place I was not supposed to be. In that kind of sense. And yeah, you're like the chat saying is I'm very lucky to be able to that I wasn't hurt. Thank you, Zio, for the tip. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Every like it says on there too is down below there is everything that you donate goes directly to supporting the stream, and it actually will be going to supporting the stream deck. So thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Also, if you haven't already, I like I said, I don't recognize your name. I feel like I've seen you once before, but I don't think I don't know exactly where you've come from. But thank you either way. I'm assuming you know Alyssa. I'm assuming you know from Alyssa. And if you'd like, it'd be me, Austin boy. Oh, like Austin. I think so. Hi, Austin. If it is. Yeah, what's it called? If you'd like to, tomorrow we are doing a Discord game night. We're playing Among Us. I don't know if that interests you. Even if we also currently have a realm going on, which you're more than welcome to do. If you / Discord, it'll give you all your links for all that stuff. So, yeah, I was gonna say I recognize that name, but I couldn't figure out exactly where it came from.
What is the name that Austin uses?
Sister Zio, is what is the username?
Z-E-A-L.
ZIO.
Z-I-O.
Sorry, sister _ ZIO.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, sorry, I'm just gonna go up here too, as well as because Wolf Dog said something that I missed here. A big thing here. He said, "To be fair, Canada, there's not a whole lot to do, so drifting happens a lot. We call it going for a rip, bud." That's right, Wolf Dog. You're from Toronto, right? I'm pretty sure you're from Toronto.
Aurelia.
What?
Wolf Dog is from Aurelia.
Aurelia.
Ontario. That's the city in Ontario.
See, Mama Lisa knows more about you guys than I do sometimes, and it's sad. I need to get on the game. See, Mama Lisa pays attention to everything, and I'm sure I see you writing a lot of things down. I'm sure you're writing down a lot of these things too about.
No, I'm not actually. I'm just taking notes of stuff that I say.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Believe it or not, Wolf Dog, I said earlier what you missed is I've had a stroke and I often don't recall things. I get a lot of like brain fog, but I do remember because I asked specifically, and he was saying like small town, or they were saying, I'm not sure of gender, and so they were saying, small town. I was like, but I'm Canadian and I know my geography of Ontario, and then they said Aurelia, and I was like, oh my goodness, I know. So beautiful.
Yeah. He says he, him, you are all good. Is the pronouns. Yeah, as far as the Discord, if you guys aren't already in the Discord, Donovan just linked it up above. Or well, actually I guess it'd be down below or side or wherever it may be. But go hit that thing there. We will be serving drinks after stream, courtesy of Bardley and the rest of the kids. Just in case you guys are thirsty and need a drink, and we have a big sofa there for you there as well. We saved a spot for you. Yes.
Raspberry lemonade.
Exactly. Mama Lisa's got her raspberry lemonade, so you can always go in.
Thank you, Bradley.
Yeah, exactly.
Brendan, you know what I was going to ask you to is to do a shout out for me. And so if people don't want to see like my boring mom Instagram, which they could, which is like, the Lisa _ Solly.
Okay.
If you should also put in my Miko and Phoebe. I think it's Miko, MIKO _ Phoebe, PHOEBE, but you should do that because I used to be amazing, but believe it or not, my kitty cat Instagram was hacked and hijacked. The email was hijacked and the account was hacked. So I had to start a new one. And ever since I started this new one, my heart has not been into it, which is too bad because I met so many great people on there, which now they just most of them, not all of them, but many of them are following me just on my Lisa _ Solly on Instagram. But anyway.
Donovan, can you do me a favor, Donovan, since I see you're in here? Can you quickly type out the Instagram links for both of those? So the first one is Lisa Solly _ is that right?
I think it's let me just go to my own because I can't remember. I'm just gonna open it up, and then it's so mine is LISA _ Solly SAHLI _ and that is a closed account, but I'll let people in, especially if I know who you are. And I only do have people in there that I actually do know. But my kitty cat one for Miko and Phoebe, and I haven't even put anything in there for a week. It is MIKO underscore and AND underscore Phoebe, which is PHOEBE. The Tuxedo Kitty.
We're typing them out now here. I'm gonna put them into the command here as well. Just give me 1 sec here as I those. Thank you, Donovan, for helping with that. I appreciate that. Because then I'll those will type out Instagram.com on here. My life a whole lot easier. Thanks to all the kids actually who's been here and helping with either this or the server stuff. Been a lot of help and supporting for all this stuff too. It makes my life a whole lot easier and serving out all those crazy drinks. There's the links there. I believe that's the right one there. I was gonna make sure it actually is. Yeah, so that's your private one, and then the Miko and Phoebe one. Make sure that account.
Miko and Phoebe, they do follow back, so you know.
Follows in there. I'm gonna just quickly add it to the command so that if anyone else throughout the episode hits that command, you can you guys can see. So it should be updated now. I'm just gonna make sure it actually went through. There we go. Perfect. So let's go. If you guys need any of those commands they are now currently in the chat there. So if you want to go check it or follow it out, or follow the accounts, I would definitely go and suggest you guys do. Keep in mind, if Mama Lisa doesn't know you, she might not follow, she might not allow you on the first one, but the second one you can surely follow, and Miko and Phoebe will fall back. They are my adorable, much cuter siblings, and so. That's called. And if you guys were here early in the stream, you've probably seen them pop in the stream a couple times here, and say what's up in the background there, because they're very interested to see what's happening. Why Mama Lisa's talking all of a sudden very loudly in the house. They're not used to. Let's see here. What do we got for that? So I thank you, by the way, Wolf Dog, for the great question too. If you guys have any other questions, please let us know, and we'll try and throw them in there. Definitely an interesting one there, and as well too is the embarrassing stories.
Another one I do is it's like I have a meme account.
Oh, I think you're gonna say you have I think you're gonna say you have another embarrassing story. I was like, oh, here we go again.
Well, I could, but the other one that I do, it's mainly it reminds me of dad jokes for my memes, but it's let me just go there. It is Lisa of Insta, but it's underscore Lisa of Insta underscore.
Lisa of Insta underscore? Underscore on both sides, right?
Correct. Underscore Lisa of Insta underscore.
That one in here as well. So the rest of the chat can see that one as well.
I used to post every single day, but I've just been, I don't know. I think with the pandemic is that some people have risen and have been such bright lights, or even just they've been those, well, I don't even know if they're bright lights, but at least they've been they've been the lights in the storm, and I wish I could be one of those people, but I really haven't. I feel that I've really I've struggled a lot, probably because my health was already bad before, but it's been hard not having people over and being by myself and all those kind of things. It just made me sort of lonely and depressed a lot of the time. So yeah, hopefully that'll change. I want it to change. I want to be one of those lights that people want to follow.
Well, I was gonna say you're pushing some more followers on the meme account than I have. The Miko and Phoebe also has more followers than I do, and
Miko and Phoebe used to have 4,500. Come on.
But yeah, so those two accounts you still have more than me. So
There's Miko.
So
adorable. Look at his little
he looks like stunned.
Yeah, he doesn't like to be picked up. It's so weird. He loves it when
look at the claws.
It's like, let me love you, let me love you. Phoebe's come up here now because she doesn't like it when Miko gets attention and she doesn't.
Your mom cats. Donovan says your mom's cats have more followers than me. They have more followers than me, dude. So like, I mean,
They used to have like 4,500 and something, like almost 4,600, because it's they're cute and lovely little kittens who had a cat community on Insta. It's so weird, like that somebody would hijack and hack their first account, but then they're not even using that first account, but I can't access it. Bizarre. I've tried so hard with Instagram to get that account back, and I can't. It's so strange.
if any of you guys know anyone from Instagram, let us know. Let's go. If you have anything, I think it's probably long, unfortunately gone, but
Yeah, I'm trying to move forward, but clearly I'm not if I'm still sad and complaining about it. Do you know what I mean? But
it's a big account. I think most people with that many followers would be upset about that stuff.
And I was really trying to build a community and chit chat and stuff, so I shouldn't be concerned about the number of followers, but I actually was, because it was like I had put in the time, and and it was like, yeah, I was so frustrated when that happened. Okay, anyway, continue on
Anyways.
with your questions, and if you want to wrap it up at any time, you let me know.
We're getting close. We're probably on probably the last three likely here. Will you encourage the younger generation to use social media, as we just talked about?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, and why would you not? I think that we have to access everything available for us, because that's how we learn, that's how we become educated. We have to stay involved in the world. I wish that I could encourage the older generations to stick on social media, because even if somebody says, "Oh, I don't like Facebook," I find a lot of old people say that because they think that's what it all is. They don't realize that there's a plethora of other platforms. That's just the one that us like old people know and we're comfortable with, or not even comfortable with, maybe. Anyway, I think that we have to. I wish that it was available when I was growing up. When I was in grade 9, I learned to type on a typewriter, and then I took typing again in the 11th grade, and it was again a little typewriter. And then when I was in college and university, I had a Commodore 64. So I don't even know if you know what that means, but a big ASS, the motor at the back of it was the back of the screen. It was hot, it was old, it was ugly, and you could use it for typing. And I remember when in 1995 or 1996, one of my brother's friends came over and showed us how we could have like a chat with someone, and we could have like a network. my mind blew, but I was like hooked. And so when Facebook first came around, I wasn't that interested. I was like, no, it's not for me, because I didn't understand it. And I think that's where the fear comes with anything, with all things in life, is that if we don't understand or we don't know, but it's important for us to keep our minds open and not say no, and be willing to like look into whatever it is. And so yes to social media for all ages and generations. Big tick. I wouldn't know most of what I know if it wasn't for social media. Is that what you said? Social networks?
Yeah. Sorry, what's I'll just put the same what Wolfdog said. He said, I just recently got into social media and just got a cell phone about 2 to 3 months ago. Wolfdog, how old are you? What's called? Are you in that kind of range of are you younger? Are you older generation? Or are you kind of middle kind of pack? Like, are you in my age range? Like, where are you in that age range? You're 27. Okay, so what's called? You're still fairly young. In that sense.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world of tech.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of funny, because I think there's almost like that, like 27, like you said, to like 35 age range, which is kind of weird. Like, it's almost like they weren't 100% raised on technology 100%, but there was also like Like it was just starting in that point, and so like half the people like super engaged in social media, and like the other half is kind of like not really. Like there's someone that I work with that is totally not interested in technology, doesn't check their phone at all, and is in that kind of age range. It's kind of funny because it's almost like it's almost like that age range, almost like it's just
Well,
not either not interested.
it amazes me too because one of my brothers, like I have a twin, and then we have twin brothers that are um, almost 9 years younger. So my brothers are they 42 now? I think they just turned 42.
I barely remember my own age.
I know they were born in 1979, but the so I think they're 42 just in March. What's weird for me is that Uncle Jeff, so this is my brother, is that he has like nothing tech, nothing. Like he owns a cell phone, but he doesn't really text very often. Um, it's he can take a picture or a video and send it like through a family text, but he doesn't use it very often.
Mhm.
And he doesn't like work on technology, and he doesn't it shocks me because he didn't even know how to get to our family Zoom call we had for Easter. He had to get Jen, his wife, to do it. I was like, interesting. I wonder why Jeff doesn't. Like he has accounts on like different social platforms. He doesn't use it, and it surprised. The reason I'm like, I'm surprised because it's my brother, and I'm surprised because of his age. And I have asked him on occasion, like Sloan is actually on the kitty cat account because she made them a cute little message. She's 5 years old, my
Mhm.
niece, and she made a cute little message for Miko and Phoebe on their birthday. And I asked Jeff if I could post it on Instagram, and he's like, of course. But it does surprise me that he's not on. So yeah, interesting, right?
For sure. We have a couple of things just to go over in chat here. Chat's been booming since that last conversation there. I see Jordo Erlo. I think I know who that is. Is that Jordan? I don't wanna dox you and say your last name there, but Jordan E. If you're
Hi,
aware.
Jordan E.
What's it called? But I think that's also a Jordan E that you would know, Mom. What's it called? But I also don't wanna say your full last name just on stream unless you don't want me to. Yeah, just in case. Also, like, just in case it isn't you. Also, in case you don't want me to as well, because you haven't done your whole thing. But I see if I'm right, it sure is. What's it called? Okay, so it is the Jordan E I'm thinking of.
Okay, so Brandon, you have to tell me because I can't see the chat.
What's it called? So it is I'm assuming your mom is Brenda E, if I'm correct there, which my mom also would know, right?
That's so awesome,
Yeah,
Jordan.
I
Thank
think.
you for joining us.
I'm assuming that is if I'm correct there. If I am, please tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I think I'm just kind of going off of usernames. Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay, so I am right. Good. Welcome to the stream. First off, thank you for joining and coming to say hi.
Yes, thank you for big hugs to you.
For sure. I'd love to know how you found this as well too, and see how you found this. But thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday.
Both of us posted on our social media.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah, and I know for sure his mom saw it because she commented. So and Jordan's also on that. Yeah, so exciting.
Awesome. Cool. What's called? Well, Jordan, if you're interested, tomorrow we are doing a Among Us game night in our Discord. !Discord will give you that link for how to join it if you are on Discord. If you're not, shoot me a message after the stream and I'll definitely teach you how to set it up on whatever platform you found it on, whether it be Instagram or Facebook, and I can definitely help you set up Discord if you don't already. Because I know some people, it's definitely a newer kind of version of it. We had to do all this technical thing to get Mama Lisa onto Discord and get her working through it, which is very, very impressive. I will say that you've actually been able to kind of get a little more comfortable with it. But we do have a couple questions from a couple people here. So Wolfdog first asked, what is one of the memories that you go to that warms your heart about Brendan? Like a certain memory or something nice that he did.
Oh my goodness, Wolfdog. I could do like an entire segment just on Brendan's sweetness to his Mama Lisa. Okay, so this one Christmas that I had first like when things were sort of, I guess, getting more challenging and difficult with my former spouse, Brendan's dad. Brendan made me this card at Christmas time, and he put in toonie, so you know that that is our $2 coin here in Canada. And there might have been more money taped into the card, but I totally remember a toonie. There might have been a loonie, which is our $1 as well. But so Brendan's this little boy, and he knew that his dad wouldn't buy me a gift for Christmas because for some reason his dad didn't buy gifts for me at birthday Christmas. And yes, I did purchase gifts for his dad for Christmas, so it's kind of bizarre, but that's another story, right? So Brendan, knowing that I wouldn't receive anything for Christmas, I would receive a gift from my own parents because they always buy their kids a gift. But little Brendan made this adorable card, which I still have.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes, because I have a box of all things Brendan. I have a box of all things Juliana, and in that box is that little card, that little Christmas card with the money still taped in because he wrote a little note about how he knew that I wouldn't get any presents and that he hoped that I'd be able to buy something special. So sweet. And since Brendan was like 10 or 11 years old, he's been buying me presents for Christmas with using his own money.
Sorry, what's it called? I have a couple things to say. Well, first, so you said the money's still in the card all these years later?
Yeah, the money's still in the
That's
card
funny.
because it's so precious, right? But I don't even know where the card is. I have to go searching for it. But I'll do that sometime when you're actually visiting me, and we'll go through that little box.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I'm not surprised because I know you keep a lot. Sorry, I'm not surprised because I know you keep like all the kind of keepsakes that me and Juliana make for you or like have for you.
I do.
And then Wolf Dog says foreshadowing for paying you back for the car for that destroyed.
Yeah, it's
maybe
gonna take a lot more than that, right?
Donovan said from our previous conversation is that your grandparents had 2 sets of twins. That's pretty cool. So yeah, Donovan, we talked about that a little bit earlier. It's one of those kind of very unique things that in our family. It's funny because I don't think about it much because it's what I've always known, but it is kind of weird because I don't think I've ever met anyone else that can say that same thing.
Yeah, so my mom's family has twins in every single generation because most of the twins are fraternal twins. So it really is an anomaly. My mom's family really is unique, as Brandon said, because my mom's sister has a set of twins, which are a girl and a boy. One of my cousins from that family, one of my cousins has a set of girl twins. So like it's pretty amazing, really.
Right.
It's like outstanding, and that's just like right within my mom's like immediate siblings is what I'm talking about. But every single generation before has a set of twins, at least one.
Pretty crazy.
Really.
The next on the chat here is Wolf Dog says, I just recognize that I have a very, based off our phone conversation, I recognize that I have a very addictive personality and I like to not be addicted to anything. I fast often to make sure that I don't even get addicted to food. I like to take comforts away to make, it makes me feel humble too. It's definitely an interesting way to see things. And I definitely think a lot of people is, I don't know if maybe addiction would be the word. I don't know if that I would use that as for me personally, but I would say is there's so many people that have that needs like instant gratification or instant satisfaction with how social media is, whether it be a like on a post or just seeing something or something like that. And keeping on, like, especially with me doing TikTok, is I've learned really quickly is if you cannot capture that audience very quickly, they're gone. Next swipe, done. Like you've lost your chance. So you have to catch them in the first 2 seconds so that they're interested in doing that in some sort of fashion or like whatever it may be. And obviously that 2 seconds is not the exact number maybe, but it would be around that kind of like those first like few seconds that they are in there. You want to make sure that you are capturing the their attention in that sort of sense. Whether that may be on TikTok or in just in general and stuff like that. So I think it's a lot of people in our generation are struggling with that kind of feeling like they have to have gratification in almost an instant kind of fashion in a sense. Here, what do we got here for that? First,
I understand and relate to that too, Brendan.
oh, you're cutting out a little bit here.
To what Wolf Dog said in a lot of ways. Sorry.
What'd you say? You said something about relating to Wolf Dog. I heard.
That there is things. Whoa! Whoa! My computer fell.
Oh no. We kind of missed it because you cut out before it, and then all of a sudden we see is whoa, and then it just cuts to you catching the computer.
It's funny because the cats both ran inside from the catio to see what was going on. Okay, I just moved it closer so that doesn't happen again. Oh, dear me. Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Good.
Just a little bit of excitement for the show, you know.
Right.
That I was saying that I relate to that because I find that in some ways I really do have an addictive personality, and I have to be careful too, and I think it's the reason why I don't I haven't started any kind of drugs or anything because I worry to be able to stop because I have like that kind of sort of like obsessive addictive, and I find that I get like that with food, especially during the pandemic, and I'm so annoyed by myself, but I can't seem to stop like eating foods that aren't good for me. Ah,
So
yeah,
just because I'm interested too, Wolf Dog, if you can, I don't know what platforms you do use because you said I'm pretty sure I saw a survey which kind of related close to kind of what you've said in the past in those senses. Is I don't know I don't think you're on Discord is I think what you said before. If you're interested, feel free. I'd be happy to kind of show you how to do it, but I also understand why you wouldn't be on there as well. But if you are on any sort of social media or anything like that, let me know because I'd like to talk to you kind of outside of stream. I think you have some very interesting insights that I would love to kind of pick your mind about. If there's anything, let me know where I can find you on, whether it's a whisper to me on Twitch or if it's something else, or even if it's in the chat. If you're comfortable with it, it's really up to you. I'll have to talk to you more. I think you got some interesting insights there as well and certain things. Let's see here. We got so one that I kind of saved for last there because I know you've definitely thought about it previously because you've already mentioned it once in the stream. Is what are 3 things that are on your bucket list?
Okay, so I actually don't keep a bucket list. I really do call it the FUCK it list.
Okay.
But if I had like a dream, like if I really and I need to do this more now because I've sort of stopped manifesting, is that if I had things that go above and beyond what I have today, it's like wow, you win the lottery and you can dream bigger and bigger. I think the things that I would like, as I said, was that lake house, community, plot of land, people living on it. It's like harmonious, we have like the garden, we have the goats, there's some chickens,
Sounds like the Minecraft server to me.
Yeah, maybe. But it's real life. And yes, my kitty cats and there's dogs there, like that kind of stuff too. But, to have like and then to like there's certain places that I would love to be able to travel to, and most of it sort of it depends on my health. Like I find that I haven't been dreaming big because my health issues have kept things small for me, so that really my entire life is boiled down to taking care of me every single day, and it's a huge job within itself. It takes all of my time. So if I have the bucket list, that's what it would be like that plot of land, lakefront, awesome community to live in. And the second part would be that I would love to go to Australia because since I was 12 years old, or 11, I used to wear this little koala, little tiny koala stuffy that used to clip. People still have them and they clip on. I used to wear it on my shirt every single day when I was 11 and 12. It was like an obsession with koalas. And so I would love to see them in Australia, and I'd love to visit Australia. So there's the dream.
Okay, is that 2 or is it what's called? Was there a third one that I missed or?
Well, I guess because I lumped the plot of land and the lake house sort of together because
Correct, yeah.
the dreams tied together, and then the Australia koala, and I suppose the third I could say, like, because we talked about Disneyland and Disney World, it would be really fun to go there with you as well.
Disney World, yeah. Okay, sounds good. All right.
Family trip.
All right, yeah, maybe to Australia. We have a couple friends over there now. With some previous house guests that we have that we've been
I do
visiting.
too from my art group. I've
There we
got
go.
like a friend. Yeah,
Sure.
it'd be fun to travel.
Yeah. What's it called? There is so we are closing into our probably our last question before we go into the raid, which I know is one of your favorite parts. This stream always seems to circle back to Australia. I know.
I'll keep my clothes on. I won't do the panty raid.
Oh, thank God. For those who missed it, what's it called? We earlier in the stream today. We were very fortunately raided by Chris Dub 1 by his raid of 10 that came in earlier, and we made a comment about a panty raid, and oh my goodness, was that interesting in the chat for sure. Yeah, Wolf Dog says the stream always seems to circle back to Australia. Yeah, it's until I do a shoey, I feel like it keeps on going back there, which will probably take a little while for me to end up pulling together and doing. The final question, as I'm sure you probably know because you've been here a couple times and you've seen it, so I don't know if you thought about this one, but if your life was a movie, what would that title be and why?
I haven't thought about this, but I have heard the question, but it would be something like, it didn't go as planned, but that's all right.
Okay. That's a good one. It goes
Something
fine,
like
but that's
that.
all right. Okay, all right. Wolf Dog says the only way the only way that you possibly could end this mom stream would be to do a shoey. It's not happening today, Wolf Dog. I mean,
Doing a shoey, I don't know what a shoey is, but I've heard you guys say it.
yeah, so let's go. So in Australia, it's a very common thing, and it seems like every single one that has been on here is very familiar with the term. So I guess it is very common there. Is basically you're taking I'm assuming alcoholic beverage. I don't know if it's just beer, and you're taking into putting into like a boot or a shoe or something, and just drinking from the boot, like actually like pouring it into there and drinking. And Harry Dicko claims, yeah, exactly. Harry Dicko claims that the more disgusting and gross that it is, the better. And so I don't know about that happening, but maybe we'll see if we can get all the Aussies that in the future on together, and we'll all do a shoey together on the stream. But we'll have to prepare that for another time. It's not something that but yeah, no, I think because we basically had like almost we've had 2 in the past like 2 weeks of Aussies that's been on here. Obviously, it's been a lot of shoey talk recently, and what's it called, wine shoey.
May I say something to you, Brendan, before we finish? Because I know this has been so long. First of all, thank you for like honoring me and being like such a great son. But you do totally light up my life, and
Thanks,
I
man.
believe everybody out there is that if you have someone that you love in your life, make sure that you actually sparkle when you see them. So so that they know that you love them, is that when they enter a room, even if you're busy, acknowledge them, and not in a exasperated kind of tone. If you're busy doing something, make sure you like say, hi Brandon, like that kind of thing, because whoever's waiting for you, whatever, they need to learn how to do that too. And that you don't, it's not like quiet. It's that you light up, your eyes light up and your face lights up, and you let them know like, hey, how are you?
Right.
And yes, Brendan, you were raised on that. When the minute you walked into the room, no matter what, I always made sure that I lit up so that you knew that how much you were loved. Plus, I told you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and all the time. But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't ask me what the best advice was that I was given either.
Sure. Actually, you know what? It's funny. I don't have it on here, but you know what? Let's use that as the last one, and then we're going to go into the raid. So I will say, actually, that is a good one. I don't know why I don't have it on here. I think it's because I asked so many streamers that question to get them to come onto here. I think I just kind of took it off of this one because it's already been something that usually been asked. I will ask you that one. What is the best advice?
There's so many, right? So first of all, I have to say today, Grandma texted me, which is so impressive that Grandma has an iPad that she texts from.
That's true.
I'm so impressed by that now. But my mom texted me and she said, something like, well, I guess I could read it. So something like, "You'll be great, but watch your language." So Grandma didn't want me to use colorful language.
Okay.
So good advice. But I think that my advice is what I just said before, is that love is the answer, because, and I said, when someone you love comes
I
in
need
the
you to
room,
know it's Seattle.
Sorry, I just I hit a video there and it went all like really loud there. Sorry. What was the last part you said there? Sorry.
is that like that loving kindness is what matters and what it's all about. And the end of the day, love is what matters. And so, like, embrace those people. Don't be afraid to show love, even if like my daughter thinks it's a little bit extra. But I think it's important for people to know that they're cared about, and they belong and they're wanted, and that's the best advice that I can give.
Good.
Let's go on the panty ring.
All right. For sure. Timo, by the way, welcome. What's it called? Thank you for coming in. I'm sorry you're a little late there. Wolfdog says chat love from Ma. I agree. Timo, what's it called? If you are interested, Timo has been has been working very, very hard on the Minecraft server. If you guys haven't already, yeah, he's playing Minecraft already. Sorry, no worries. We're about to open up the realm back open again. So you guys are interested, get in that Discord, !Discord will get you there. I have found our person to raid, and I think it fits perfectly in so many ways. The person's name is Moms Online, as I just put into the chat there. Exactly. And he is a streamer that does very similar content to mine. From what I've been told by another friend, is that he interviews streamers and people, not just streamers, people that are very interesting and people that he admire and like. And so I thought it was very interesting, and I've kind of stopped by, and I would love to be able to interview him and kind of that as well. So if you guys are interested, I'd love if you guys went and hit that chat up with a kind of like, we'd love to have you on sort of thing, because I think it'd be awesome to have him coming in and being able to kind of see what he thinks as well as that, because I think his and I's brand very relates in some sort of fashion. So go say hi. Let's go. Go hit him with a follow. It'll definitely be worth it. He's a very for sure. Yes. Bye. Let's go. Thank you so much. We will see you hopefully all tomorrow night at Discord game night. Thank you to Timo that just put it in the Discord chat there. And if not, I will hopefully see you guys Tuesday for the stream. I don't even have the time for it up, but what's it called? If you guys join the Discord, it'll be in there. It's gonna be with Metafish, and that will be a good one. We're gonna have some very chill, relaxing vibes there. But if you guys can, this has been the affiliate stream. I am out. Be prepared with the affiliates commands and stuff like that I'll have as far as the next stream, hopefully, as everything goes well as for the next one. But thank you so much. This has been me and Mama Lisa. We will see you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.